Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Comprehension Heaven-Defying, Rebirth Sasuke, Revitalization. Chapter 41. Soon, Sasuke and others rushed to the ninja school. Wow, there are so many people. Naruto sighed. On the grassland surrounding the ninja school, a large number of candidates from various villages gathered to take the Chunin exam. It turns out that it's not just Konoha and Sandgakure, but also Sound Ninja Village, Kusagakure Village, Takigakure Village, etc. Little Sakura looked at them one by one. What the book says is true. The exams organized by the 5 major countries are more attractive. Sasuke also nodded slightly. Indeed, in addition to the 5 major countries, there are also other small countries that have established ninja villages. But the quality of the ninjas in these villages varies. Ninjas of the same level are obviously not as powerful as the 5 major nations. Therefore, these villages will also participate in the selection examinations organized by the 5 major countries if they have the opportunity. Chunin, recognized by the 5 major countries, is absolutely genuine. It can be considered as gold plating. Sakura-chan, don't worry about this, let's go to the exam location quickly. It doesn't matter what village it is, just knock it all down. Naruto said nervously. Afterwards, several people quickly came to the 3rd floor according to the instructions on the admission ticket. Hey, didn't I tell you that this place is closed to traffic? You brat, you want to be beaten, right? Bang. A Konoha shinobi knocked out Rock Lee with one punch. Listen, it's not easy to become a Chunin. Even so, you definitely won't be able to pass the exam, so you'd better go back quickly. The 2 Konoha shinobi shouted. The candidates around him didn't dare to act rashly. Not only Rock Lee, but also several previous candidates were impulsive and received a heavy beating. These 2 people blocking the door are very powerful. Sasuke, what now? Little Sakura whispered, besides, this seems to be. Humph, what a boring trick. Sasuke stepped forward. Hey, stop. The Konoha shinobi guarding the gate reached for him. Ah, suddenly, he covered his hands and let out a cry of pain. What's wrong? His companion saw this and was about to step forward to stop him. Careful, Zetsu. There was a faint flash of thunder and lightning on Sasuke. He was also repulsed. This is the 2nd floor. I almost forgot. Sakura-chan, we should go to the 3rd floor. Sasuke suddenly turned his head. You brat, what are you talking about? This is obviously the 3rd floor. Yes, you can't read the house number on it. Really? But this simple illusion is useless in my eyes. Sasuke looked at the 2 of them, his eyes were scarlet. It turns out to be Sharingan. The 2 understood, smiled, and released the illusion through the seal. Sure enough, the door number showed the 2nd floor. Everyone present was in an uproar. Those eyes, Uchiha Sasuke. Neji stood in the crowd, silently observing. I was deceived by illusion. It turns out this is the 2nd floor, let's go quickly. Others saw this and left one after another. Is this Sharingan? It's amazing. At this time, Rock Lee came over. He looked at little Sakura and said seriously. Little Sakura, my name is Rock Lee, please date me, I've liked you for a long time. As he spoke, he also winked. Damn, no. Little Sakura's face turned pale. No, absolutely not. Rock Lee's thick eyebrows, shiny watermelon hair, and unconventional green tights. She really couldn't accept it. Hey, you guy, you also like little Sakura. She's mine. Naruto rushed out, shouting at Rylock. Asshole Naruto, what are you talking about in your sleep? Sakura said angrily. Boom, Naruto received another blow on the head. So Naruto, you also like little Sakura. In that case, let's have a duel between real men. Rock Lee strikes a pose. HMPH, who is afraid of you? Naruto rushed over quickly. He just wanted to fight against other ninjas. After all, everyone who came to take the Chunin exam was his opponent. Aha! Naruto's eyes flashed as Xiao Li disappeared. Bang! Rock Lee raised his kick and kicked Naruto away, causing him to fall heavily to the ground. What's going on? What a fast move. Just now, he was clearly acting very weak. Naruto wiped the cut at the corner of his mouth, feeling surprised. Hey, Lee, didn't you say you should keep a low profile to avoid alerting others? Seeing Tiantian on the side, he stepped forward. Hello, Sasuke, this is Tenten. Tenten looked at the handsome Sasuke, showing a hint of shyness. She stuck out her tongue and held out her hand with a cute look on her face. The corners of Sasuke's mouth raised slightly, and he reached out his hand and shook it gently. Day by day, a famous little rich woman in the ninja world. Every time she fights, all kinds of ninja tools fly everywhere as if they are free. You know, those ninja tools are not cheap. Ah, no, is Sasuke interested in me? Tiantian looked excited. Hey, let go now, Sasuke is mine. Little Sakura was wary and stared at Tenten. Sakura-chan, you. Rock Lee looked heartbroken when he heard this. It turns out that little Sakura likes Sasuke. Uchiha Sasuke, you are a famous genius in Konoha. I want to challenge you to a battle now. Rock Lee stretched out his hand and assumed a fighting stance. Not interested in. Sakura-chan, Naruto, let's go, be careful not to be late. Sasuke turned his head and turned to leave. The Uchiha clan, are you so timid? It seems that we, Hyuga, are the strongest in Konoha. Hyuga Neji crossed his arms and stepped forward and said, Sasuke, I didn't expect that you wouldn't even dare to accept Xiao Li's challenge. Hyuga Neji continued, in fact, he also wanted to take this opportunity to see how strong the Uchiha family, known as geniuses, are. Sasuke froze. Well, in that case, let me show you Uchiha's reputation. He turned his head, his eyes were scarlet. The next second, Sharingan stared at Rock Lee, his double Magatama spinning continuously. This is. Rock Lee was in a trance, and a pair of huge eyes suddenly appeared in front of him. At the same time, his whole body seemed to have lost strength. The whole person was drowsy. With a thud, Rock Lee fell to the ground. Everyone present was shocked. Lee, what's wrong with you? Tiantian exclaimed and quickly walked to him. This is an illusion. Neji rolled his eyes and glanced at Rock Lee. He gritted his teeth and understood instantly. What a powerful illusion. Just one glance put Xiao Li into a deep sleep. Now, that's enough. A contemptuous smile appeared on Sasuke's lips. Lee, wake up. Rock Lee was shaken violently every day, and he slowly woke up. Suddenly, Rock Lee stood up abruptly. I lost. He stared at Sasuke with a complicated look on his face. Unexpectedly, the first time he challenged Sasuke, he was instantly killed by the opponent using an illusion. A feeling of powerlessness emerged in his heart. Even when facing Neji, who is also known as a genius, the gap is far from that big. Thick eyebrows, your weakness is too obvious. Sasuke shook his head. Hyuga Neji clenched his fists. Uchiha Sasuke, is he so strong? At this time, with a bang, a huge old red turtle appeared. Lee Yo, it seems your practice is not enough. Might Guy's voice came. Teacher Guy, Rock Lee lowered his head in shame. Teacher with thick eyebrows. Sakura and Naruto looked curiously at the figure on the turtle's back. The same watermelon head, the same style of green tights, and thicker eyebrows. Wow, this is a damn clone, exactly the same. These eyebrows are so scary. The two of them were sweating profusely. You, show some respect to Teacher Guy. Rock Lee shouted loudly when he saw the two of them looking like this. Might Guy looked at Sasuke. Well, the same Sharingan has a talent that even Kakashi is amazed by. It's really amazing. He defeated Lee so easily. Might Guy turned to look at his apprentice. Lee, come here. Rock Lee walked over obediently. You idiot. Might Guy punched Rock Lee in the face, knocking him away. Lee, how could you fall under the illusion so easily when fighting Sharingan? Teacher Guy, Rock Lee rubbed his face and had tears in his eyes. Stop talking, Lee, this is youth, keep practicing hard. Might Guy hugged him and the two burst into tears. Naruto and Sakura were dumbfounded. Why are these two people here again? Neji and Tiantian covered their faces, really unable to see. Lee, don't give up, genius is not invincible. Might Guy stood up and looked at the three Sasukes. Kakashi is also a genius in Konoha, but after hard work and training, I have played against him a total of 99 times and achieved a record of 50 wins and 49 losses. Lee, go run 500 laps around the training ground. Work hard and sweat in practice, and you can do the same. Yes, Teacher Guy, these two, idiots. Others simply couldn't complain. Soon, Sasuke and others came to the third floor and opened the door of room 301. The sound of the door opening caused movement. Everyone stared at them. Wow, there are so many people. Naruto and Sasuke were a little surprised. There are so many candidates, all of them look very strong. Little Sakura thought to herself, unable to help but swallow her saliva. Oh, Sasuke, you are indeed here. Suddenly, Ino rushed over and hugged Sasuke fiercely. Long time no see. It's a pity that we weren't assigned to the same class. I miss you so much. Hey, Ino pig, take your hands away. Little Sakura warned coldly. HMPH, you ugly monster, who wants to listen to you? Ino stuck out her tongue playfully at little Sakura. At this time, Shikamaru and Choji came over eating snacks. Ah, Shikamaru, it turns out you are also participating. Naruto looked at the two of them. Hey, you guys have to work hard this time. Oh, so many people are really troublesome. Shikamaru scratched his head and frowned. Naruto, if you can participate, we can't lose. At this time, Kiba and Hinata also came over. Sasuke, Naruto, hello. Hinata said hello still blushing. Tisk, what's going on? Even you are here, and this year's batch of students are actually gathered together. Naruto looked surprised. Sasuke walked around observing. Sure enough, they are all familiar faces. In the huge examination room, there are 3 Gaara trio, 3 Sound Ninja trio, and 3 Yakushi Kabuto wearing Konoha forehead protector. At this time, Yakushi Kabuto noticed Sasuke's gaze. He adjusted his glasses. Uchiha Sasuke, a new container that even Lord Orochimaru values very much. He raised the corner of his mouth and quickly leaned over. Hey, the 9 of you are newcomers who have just graduated from ninja school. Who are you? Naruto and others were confused, but they saw the Konoha forehead protector on his forehead. He secretly thought that he was also a genin from Konoha. I'm Kabuto. To tell you the truth, this is my 7th time taking the Chunin exam. I'm not strong enough and haven't been able to pass. Yakushi Kabuto scratched his head in embarrassment, with a friendly look on his face. It turns out to be Kabuto-senpai. Then, Kabuto-senpai, you must be familiar with the Chunin exam process. Little Sakura and others asked in surprise. That's right, but the questions in the Chunin exam are different every year. Although I failed many times, I did not fall behind in gathering intelligence. As an old senior, I can show you the information I have collected so hard. Sasuke stood aside and watched quietly. Yakushi Kabuto is indeed a born spy. Sasuke secretly thought that with just a few words, he had drawn closer to Naruto and the others. And the performance was very smooth, without any flaws. Let alone a newcomer, even some veteran ninjas are unlikely to see through his disguise. Kankuro, the puppet master. Naruto stared at the card in his hand carefully. Wow, look, this one is called Gaara. As a genin, he has participated in many B-level missions, and the data shows that he was unscathed in every mission. Naruto and the others were shocked. It's amazing. This guy is too exaggerated. How can we win against him? Choji and the others looked very unsure. For a while, the atmosphere on the court was a little depressing. What are you afraid of? I won't lose to these guys. Naruto shouted. In an instant, everyone around him looked over. Hey Naruto, you idiot, keep your voice down. Do you know what low-ki is? Low-ki. On the other side, the Sound Ninja trio also noticed. Wait a minute, Jin, look at that guy with black hair over there. That's right, it's Uchiha Sasuke. The goal Orochimaru-sama set for us. How about it? Do you want to go say hello in advance? What a great idea. The Sasuke trio sneered, and they quickly rushed towards Sasuke and the others. Just as the 3 people were approaching and wanted to take action. Suddenly, several shurikens fell from the sky and were thrust in front of them. Several people stopped quickly. Hey, you guys, do you want to get out early? Sasuke shook the kunai in his hand. Don't be so proud, I'll kill you now. Snarled, pointing his hand at Sasuke. You bastards, please be quiet. Suddenly, there was a roar from the podium in front. With a bang, smoke exploded. A group of examiners appeared and stared at the 3 of them coldly. What, you Sound Ninja genin, do you want to be disqualified? The leader Morinoi Hiki looked fiercely and said. The three of them immediately noticed that a murderous aura was coming, making them feel cold all over. I'm really sorry, we were too excited. The three of them lowered their heads and slowly retreated into the crowd. Sasuke glanced at Sasuke from the corner of his eye and thought to himself, you were lucky this time. You all, listen to me. Private fighting is prohibited in this exam. Violators will be disqualified. Morinoi Bixi said in a low voice. Okay, everyone turns in their admission tickets in order, and then begins the first, written test. What, a written test? Naruto was shocked. Hey, no, you actually have to take such a test. It's over. I've never failed this kind of test. Naruto held his head, a look of pain on his face. Not only him, but also many other candidates looked embarrassed. In the eyes of many people, just being strong is enough for a ninja. I never seriously studied the competition aspect at all. You all sit down, now start distributing test papers. Several examiners held a large stack of test papers and handed them out one after another. Sasuke sat in his seat and listened slowly to the instructions. Sure enough, the exam rules are basically the same as the original. But the difference is that these questions are very easy for me. Sasuke glanced at the test paper and smiled. Because of his heaven-defying comprehension, his mind is extremely smart and he has almost a photographic memory. During this time, he acquired a lot of knowledge about ninjas. The content of the written examination was difficult for Genin, but to him it was just child's play. The first test actually tests the ninja's ability to collect intelligence. Sasuke turned to look around. Sure enough, many candidates used their own methods to peek at other people's content through cheating. Kiba threw the Akamaru on the head, Shino threw the parasites in the body, Hinata and Neji threw the Byakugan. Even Tiantian and Rock Lee secretly copied the answers by setting up mechanisms. Naruto was the only one with a scowl on his face, staring blankly at the test paper. This guy doesn't know anything, but he still passed in the end. I'm really convinced. Sasuke groaned inwardly. Hey, you have cheated several times, you are disqualified. And you, such a clumsy technique, so stupid. In the examination room, some candidates were kicked out from time to time. Others were even more nervous under the strict supervision of the examiner. Sure enough, it was the 10th question's turn soon, and the last question tested the courage of the ninja. If you answer the 10th question incorrectly, you will have to be a genin for the rest of your life. Morino was overjoyed and threatened. Suddenly, many people present gave up on their own initiative. Sasuke was right. With Naruto's character, of course he would fight to the end. Finally passed without any danger. Soon, the examiner of the second exam, Mitarashi Anko, appeared. Well, she looks really bold in what she wears. As expected of, she studied under Orochimaru. Sasuke looked at the impassioned Anko in front of him and thought to himself. She was wearing a windbreaker with a layer of fishing nets underneath. Apart from that, he doesn't even have any underwear, and looks vaguely. Speaking of Orochimaru, Sasuke looked around. Has this guy already sneaked in? HMPH, Yibixi, you can't do it. There are actually 78 people left. Watch me knock out more than half of them this time. Anko smiled. Hey, candidates, hurry up and follow us. So, Anko took the remaining candidates and quickly rushed to the location of the second exam, the Forest of Death. A huge training ground. Everyone gathered here, looking at the dark and dense virgin forest ahead. What a huge forest. Look, there seem to be a lot of poisonous insects and beasts inside. So that's it. It's really dangerous. No wonder we chose such a name. Everyone gradually understood that the second exam was obviously a practical test, and the difficulty was not low. You've all seen it, then I'll announce the rules for the second game. Because there were so many people who passed the first exam, it was made extra difficult. Anko smiled and took out 2 scrolls, Heaven and Earth. The second test, the scroll battle, each group can be assigned one of the scrolls, collect 2 scrolls, and reach the high tower in the middle of the Death Forest within the specified 5 days. It will be considered passed. Of course, in order to make this exam more realistic, everyone needs to sign a death consent form. Anko explains the rules in detail. Hey, can you stop being so verbose and start early? Naruto shouted impatiently. This candidate is really very motivated. Anko narrowed his eyes, waved his hand, and a kunai quickly flew towards Naruto. Naruto was startled. He ducked sideways, leaving a scar on his face. But, I hate it when people interrupt me when I'm talking. It's so rude. Anko appeared behind Naruto and whispered. This guy is serious. Naruto couldn't help but swallow. Examiner, your kunai. Suddenly, a ranged shinobi candidate wearing a bamboo hat handed a kunai to Anko. Thanks. Anko took it with a smile, and then looked at everyone. Okay, everyone, I wish you good luck, but don't die. Sasuke's eyes narrowed slightly. Mobilize the majestic mental power in your body and carefully sense the front. So strong chakra. This guy is indeed Orochimaru. Sasuke secretly thought, Orochimaru has been eyeing his body for a long time. This time I came to the Chunin exam to plant a seed in Sasuke's heart. A seed seeking power. It's a pity that I no longer need this clumsy method. The corners of Sasuke's mouth quirked up. Anko looked at the time, waved his hand, and the iron gate of the training ground opened. Now, the second exam officially begins. With the entrance to the Forest of Death opened. Whoosh whoosh. One after another figures quickly rushed into the Forest of Death from different entrances. I really miss it. It's been a long time since we last met, Anko. Orochimaru stood on the tree trunk and looked into the distance. Next, I will act alone, you don't have to follow me. Yes, Orochimaru-sama. The other two nodded. On the other side, in the Forest of Death, groups of candidates restrained their auras, carefully concealed their figures, and set traps. The Death Forest is very humid and has many poisonous insects and beasts. Like Ya and others, they use ready-made poisonous insects as traps and activate them quickly when others approach. Of course, there are also many candidates who take the initiative. Kill your opponent with a clean sweep to capture the scroll. HMPH, you can actually kill me, that's great. The three of them sneered. Okay, let's complete Orochimaru-sama's mission as soon as possible. The leader Toss ordered. HMPH, after I find them, I will take action first. Damn Uchiha Sasuke, for being so arrogant. Sack squeezed his palms. In the Forest of Death, screams were heard from time to time. Dozens of candidates gathered around the scroll and started a bloody battle. As time flows, the number of people dying in the forest is also gradually increasing. In the peripheral training ground, Anko ate the meatballs with one hand and smiled as he listened to the screams coming from the forest. It seems that the show is on. Hey, Naruto, Sakura-chan, what we got is the Scroll of Heaven. Don't worry about others, move forward quickly, wait until you reach the tower before hunting. Remember, the three of us should not separate, so as not to be taken advantage of by others. Sasuke ordered calmly. I see. Naruto and Sakura nodded. So, the three of them found their bearings, and their figures jumped between the trees, quickly heading towards the depths of the Death Forest. When several people passed by a big tree, suddenly, a figure jumped out. Who? Naruto and little Sakura said warily. When he saw the person coming, he breathed a sigh of relief. So it's you, Kabuto-senpai. Naruto smiled and greeted him. Ah, Naruto, I was shocked. We were attacked just now and separated from our companions. Kabuto patted his chest and slowly approached. Suddenly, he whipped out his kunai and stabbed Naruto. But Naruto quickly backed away, dodging the attack. You, what are you doing? Naruto was startled. Idiot, he is transformation technique in disguise. Little Sakura said. So that's it. Sasuke is right. This is indeed the case. Fortunately, I was on guard. Naruto also took out a kunai. Seeing that his disguise was seen through, Kabuto sneered and returned to his original form with a bang. I never thought you new kiddies could see through my transformation technique. A ninja appears wearing a ranged shinobi village forehead protector and a breathing mask on his face. During the first exam, he noticed that Sasuke and the others seemed to have just graduated from ninja school. He originally thought that such a newcomer would be easy to succeed because of his low vigilance. Unexpectedly, it was a miscalculation. Since you can't be Yinis, use your strength to crush him. This ranged shinobi ninja just wanted to take action. Suddenly, Sasuke opened his eyes suddenly, and double Magatama appeared. The next second, he felt the world spinning in front of him and fell to the ground suddenly. You're so weak, you can't even withstand an ordinary illusion. Sasuke shook his head slightly. Against these ordinary genin, Sharingan can kill them instantly just by casting illusions. He stepped forward and groped around on the ninja's body, but did not find the scroll. It seems that he acted alone. The scroll is probably with his companions. Sasuke frowned slightly. Let's go. Sasuke ignored the unconscious Rain Shinobi and left quickly. As for whether he will be killed by other ninjas or eaten by ferocious beasts and poisonous insects, he can only leave it to fate. The darkness of the forest of death. Orochimaru looked at Sasuke's leaving figure, stuck out his tongue and licked his lips. It's really not easy to achieve this kind of illusion at such a young age. Sasuke, you remind me of that guy. Things are getting more and more interesting. I want your body even more. Soon, Orochimaru's figure disappeared into the darkness. The three Sasukes were jumping through the trees. He turned his head inadvertently and looked behind him. This powerful chakra, there is nothing wrong with it, Orochimaru has already followed. HMPH, his attack this time should be just a test. Sasuke sneered, come on then, I just wanted to see the power of the curse seal. After a few minutes, Naruto suddenly stopped. Hey, Sasuke, little Sakura, wait a moment, I want to go to the toilet. Hey, Naruto, can't you bear it? Little Sakura couldn't help but said. Sasuke also said that we need to get to the tower as soon as possible. Hey, just for a moment, I've been holding it back since the first exam. Naruto looked confused. He jumped several times and came to a big tree. He had just unbuttoned his pants and was ready to relax. Suddenly, a huge snake head jumped out from the depths of the forest and bit him fiercely. Damn, why is it at this time? Naruto was so frightened that he quickly picked up his pants, turned around and ran away. But the next second, he stopped. Oh, it's no longer necessary. Naruto glanced at his pants, which were quite wet. Damn stupid snake, it's all your fault. With an angry look on his face, Naruto formed seals with his hands and used multiple shadow clone techniques. Bang! Under a large amount of white smoke, dozens of Naruto appeared. They roared and killed the giant snake. The other side. Naruto touched his head and walked out embarrassedly. Sorry, Sasuke, Sakura-chan, for keeping you waiting. Okay, let's continue setting off now. Naruto apologized, quickly approaching Sasuke. Call out. A shuriken shot out and pointed directly at his head. Ah, what are you doing, Sasuke? Naruto flashed over in panic, an angry look on his face. I think you'd better show your true colors. The shuriken that flew out turned into Sasuke with a bang. Then, a giant great fireball erupted from his mouth. What? Naruto was startled, and he jumped even more when he was caught off guard. But suddenly he discovered that two Sasukes, one behind the other, were holding tough steel wires in their hands. Sasuke moved his fingers, and the wire tightened, binding him tightly. The fireball hit him instantly. Boom! The great fireball exploded violently. The terrifying heat wave burned the trees at Naruto's feet to ashes. But there was no figure in the flames, only an empty shell burning. This is Orochi Ryu body replacement technique. Sasuke narrowed his eyes. From such an extreme distance, this was the only way he could escape. Oh, it's so dangerous. Sasuke, you exceeded my expectations. Orochimaru slowly emerges from a nearby tree trunk. Seeing the big tree burn to ashes, Orochimaru's face showed solemnity. What a dangerous fire style. If he failed to dodge, this move might directly hit him hard. Who are you? Little Sakura was confused. How did he know Sasuke's name? Little girl, it doesn't matter who I am, don't you want to get the scroll in my hand? Orochimaru threw the earth scroll in his hand. Sakura's eyes lit up. If I'm not mistaken, what you just happened to have is the scroll of heaven. Then let's enjoy the battle. Orochimaru opened his eyes suddenly, filled with murderous intent. Little Sakura's heart suddenly trembled, and various killing scenes emerged in her mind. What a scary guy, is it an illusion? Little Sakura's legs were weak and she almost lost the courage to resist. On the other side, Sasuke's lips raised. Sure enough, after entering the waning moon chapter of the 5 forging gods, my mental power is not far different from his. Sasuke's huge mental power is enough to resist Orochimaru's murderous intrusion. Go. Orochimaru waved his hand, and a giant yellow-brown snake emerged from behind him. It opened its mouth and bit Sasuke and the two fiercely. Aha! Sasuke's figure flashed and he took little Sakura away. Ha! You're not overwhelmed by my momentum. Orochimaru smiled. Such a great container, I can't wait. The two men hid behind a big tree. Looking at the frightened little Sakura, Sasuke lowered his voice and said, Sakura-chan, please stay away. This guy's strength is extraordinary. No, Sasuke, I want to fight alongside you. Little Sakura came back to her senses and said. Sasuke frowned and pushed Sakura away. Come on, he's coming. Several handfuls of sharp bitter objects were shot from blind angles. Sasuke's figure flickered and jumped, dodging all the attacks. The next second, a huge snake head fell from the sky and hit Sasuke hard. Boom! Sasuke was hit hard, but with a bang, he turned into a piece of wood and disappeared. Ha! What a quick body replacement technique. Orochimaru stood on the snake's head and narrowed his eyes. Sasuke's body replacement technique was so fast that he didn't even see it clearly. Fire style, dragon fire technique. Sasuke's figure appeared in midair, and a huge fire dragon spurted out of his mouth, blasting directly towards Orochimaru below. Orochimaru jumped up and dodged the attack. But the giant brown snake under his feet screamed under the flames and fell to the ground in pain. The power of this fire-style ninjutsu is nature transformation. Orochimaru stared at Sasuke, not expecting that despite his young age, he had mastered the powerful fire-style nature transformation. As expected of Uchiha, he is as talented as Itachi. Orochimaru secretly thought, he must show his true strength. Otherwise, several shots were easily resolved by Sasuke. It won't be able to deter him. Not to mention planting the seeds for him to pursue power. Orochimaru thought of this, suppressed his smile, and shot toward Sasuke in a flash. He was as fast as a ghost and was closing in on Sasuke in an instant. Here you are, planning to compete with me in physical skills. Sasuke had a plan in mind. Orochimaru threw out a punch, but Sasuke ducked out of the way. But a large amount of lion majesty suddenly emerged from his sleeves and quickly wrapped around him. Sasuke's face showed surprise at the right time, and he stepped back hastily. But these lion majesty were extremely fast and instantly entangled his hands and feet. Orochimaru stretched out his hand, and Sasuke was thrown away by him, hitting a big tree nearby. Boom! The tree trunks were broken and wood chips were flying. Sasuke coughed and blood flowed from the corner of his mouth. The development of ninjutsu is very beautiful, but it's a pity that taijutsu is the foundation, and it's useless if you can't keep up. Orochimaru slowly approached. Staying in Konoha will only bury your talent. He formed a seal with his hands, stretched his neck quickly, and bit into Sasuke who couldn't move. In an instant, 3 surrounding Magatama appeared around Sasuke's neck. Sasuke, this heavenly curse seal is my gift to you. If you want to kill Itachi and get stronger power, come to me Orochimaru. Orochimaru chuckled strangely. Then, his figure slowly fell into the tree trunk and disappeared. Sensing Orochimaru had left, Sasuke, who was lying on the ground in agony, suddenly opened his eyes. Under the big tree on the other side, a shuriken banged, transforming back into Sasuke. HMPH, this perfect transformation technique is really easy to use. Even a cage-level powerhouse like Orochimaru can't detect it. Sasuke's true form smiled. That's right, the one struggling on the ground and the one who fought Orochimaru just now was just his shadow clone. In this contest between him and Orochimaru, he only showed a small part of his strength. He did not use Chidori, various lightning-style nature transformation, ice release, Sharingan illusion and tailed beast power. After all, Sasuke was worried that Orochimaru would be tempted to take action early if he showed too much strength. Now we have a battle with Orochimaru, the outcome is unknown. More importantly, if Orochimaru is severely damaged here, the subsequent plan to collapse Konoha will not be implemented. This goes against Sasuke's plan. However, it's not bad to get the power of the curse seal. Sasuke leaned down and immediately used the Kiaro technique, reaching out and pressing the heavenly curse seal. Suddenly, the power of the curse seal was gradually absorbed by Sasuke. Curse seal is a degraded version of Sage mode. It adds some bonus to ninjutsu and taijutsu, but it's not as strong as Sage mode. However, I can definitely use the curse seal as a template to create a stronger technique. Sasuke's eyes lit up. Rely on your own heaven-defying understanding, combined with the power of the curse seal. It will definitely increase your strength quickly. This was the reason why he deliberately hid his clumsiness and let Orochimaru take action to leave the curse mark. When Sasuke has absorbed the heavenly curse seal, not far away, little Sakura and Naruto rushed over. Sasuke, are you okay? Where did that scary ninja go? Little Sakura looked around cautiously. Don't worry, he's gone. Sasuke said calmly, I tricked him with the shadow clone technique. Is that so? That's okay. Little Sakura breathed a sigh of relief. The moment she felt Orochimaru's murderous intent, she almost thought she was going to die here. Fortunately, Sasuke is powerful. I said, Sasuke, have you encountered an enemy? Naruto scratched his head. When I went to urinate just now, I encountered a really big snake. Orochi. Little Sakura was surprised. Could it be the same person? Yes, it should be his summoning beast. That guy's name is Orochimaru. Orochimaru. Both Sakura and Naruto were a little confused. They seemed to have never heard of this man. Sasuke shook his head slightly. This guy was one of the former Konoha Sannin and now an S-class wanted criminal in Konoha. Naruto and the other new ninjas have never heard of it. It can only be said that the messaging at the bottom of Konoha is too poor. Konoha Sannin, have you heard of it? Sannin, is this the legendary Sannin where Tsunade-sama lives? Little Sakura looked shocked. Tsunade-sama was her idol. As a medical ninja who is famous in Konoha village and even in the entire ninja world, he is also beautiful and powerful. Many female ninjas in Konoha village admire her very much. Little Sakura is one of them. She thought about it briefly and vaguely heard that there seemed to be someone named Orochimaru who was as famous as Tsunade. No way, the legendary Sannin. Little Sakura covered her mouth. Such a terrifying person, Sasuke was able to escape unscathed. Hey, let me tell you. I can't understand what you are talking about. Naruto was confused. He really didn't know about Konoha Sannin, Orochimaru or anything like that. So, little Sakura explained it to him a little bit. Oh, he turns out to be such a powerful person. It's such a pity that we couldn't fight him. Naruto looked remorseful. Sasuke and little Sakura were speechless, looking at him like an idiot. Naruto, are you a white idiot? If you really meet him, you will die. Little Sakura sighed. She was really a very nervous guy. Sasuke, Orochimaru is such a dangerous person, why does he come to us? Little Sakura suddenly thought, what are you doing? Of course you want to take my body. Sasuke thought to himself, but still pretended to be ignorant on the surface and shook his head. Okay, don't worry about this for now, it's important that we complete the mission. Sasuke whispered, since there are no injuries, let's continue on our way. Good. Naruto nodded and the three quickly left. A training ground outside the Death Forest. While Anko was eating the meatballs, he threw the bamboo stick in his hand towards the wooden target in front of him. It's so delicious. No matter how many times I eat it, I never get tired of it. However, meatballs are best paired with Anko soup. Anko looked happy. Suddenly, an examiner arrived. Oops, Examiner Anko, something big happened. Anko frowned slightly. What's going on? You're so flustered, don't bother me eating. 3 corpses were found next to the forest of death, and they died in strange ways. You should go and take a look. Weird, lead the way. Anko's face tightened. Soon, several examiners gathered at the discovery site. The surrounding area was very bloody, and the land was dyed red with blood. Several people looked at the 3 ninjas who fell to the ground dead, and Anko was shocked. The faces of the 3 people who died have all been melted away. And it's basically certain that he died before entering the second exam. In other words, someone pretended to be their identity and sneaked into the examination room. Several ninja examiners made their judgments. Anko looked at the costumes of the 3 dead Kusanagi and thought of this creepy ninjutsu in the previous scene. You can't do this kind of ninjutsu. Could it be said that at that time, it was already? The aura on him is unmistakable. Anko's eyes widened suddenly. Quick, go and notify Anbu and Master Hokage. Others were a little confused. but after 3 genin from other villages died, was it necessary to go to such great lengths? It's Orochimaru. It's possible that this guy returned to Konoha and sneaked into the Chunin exam. What? Everyone's expressions changed drastically. It turned out to be this dangerous and terrifying guy. Yes, several people quickly separated and acted. Enko looked at the forest ahead, gritted his teeth and rushed in. In the forest, the setting sun stretched her shadow very long. Orochimaru, what do you want to do when you return to Konoha this time? Enko thought in his mind. However, she could never guess what this once gloomy teacher was thinking. No matter what, I will kill you this time, even if it costs my life. Enko murmured. The past is still vivid in my mind. Enko has always kept the hurt and humiliation Orochimaru caused her deep in her heart. Enko, don't you know very well that you can't kill me? Suddenly, a creepy sound came from above. Enko looked up and saw Orochimaru's body slowly emerging from the tree trunk. Orochimaru, I'm going to kill you. Enko's eyes flashed fiercely and he rushed forward. Orochimaru's figure flashed, and just as he was about to escape, Enko raised her hand, and a large number of lion majesty stretched out from her wrist and wrapped around him suddenly. The next moment, the sharp kunai in his hand pierced Orochimaru's palm. HMPH, you can't escape. Enko smiled and was about to use his killer move. A teasing voice sounded from behind. What's wrong? As a former student of mine, you treat your teacher like this when we first meet. Enko, after all these years, your fiery temperament has not changed at all. Orochimaru had a playful sneer on his face. Enko was startled and turned around to see that Orochimaru in front of him turned into a puddle of mud. It turned out to be a clone. Orochimaru, what on earth do you want to do? Enko yelled at him. Hey, it's nothing. I found a good container. I just came to take a look. By the way, he is a descendant of Uchiha, and his talent is far superior to yours. I also gave him the curse seal of heaven. Enko was startled and suddenly thought of Uchiha Sasuke. Huh, don't be afraid. He won't be able to withstand the power of the curse seal and dies. In this case, your plan will be in vain. No, with his talent, he can definitely develop the power of the curse seal. Tell old man Hiruzen, if he dares to stop the Chunin exam, be careful of me causing a scene in Konoha. Orochimaru's figure slowly sank and disappeared into the forest. Enko watched Orochimaru leave with unwillingness in his eyes. Hateful, she hammered the tree trunk hard. Compared with Sanin's strength, the gap between his own strength and Sanin's was too big, and he was simply being manipulated by applause. Suddenly, he thought of the curse mark on his neck. No, the more you use it, the more it will be eroded and completely fall into Orochimaru's hands. Enko gritted her teeth, and she faintly felt that the curse mark on her neck seemed to be stirring. Night falls. Sasuke and the 3 of them sat under a big dead tree. They lit a bonfire, and the dancing flames illuminated several people's faces. Well, I'm so hungry. Naruto took out some fish and divided them between the 2 of them. Hey, using shadow clone to catch fish is really good. Naruto grilled the fish next to the campfire, looking forward to it. Naruto, little Sakura, you guys stay outside and I'll go practice first. I gained some insights after fighting Orochimaru. Sasuke warned. Don't worry, Sasuke, leave it to us. Naruto held out his thumb to indicate it was okay. Little Sakura looked forward to it. Sasuke is indeed a genius, he has gained something again so soon. Sasuke nodded, turned and entered the tree hole behind him. He sat cross-legged in a tree hole. As time goes by, through the absorbed chakra, carefully figure out the curse seal. So it turns out that it's mixed with one's own will. You have deeply analyzed the heavenly curse seal and understood the basic composition of the curse seal. Close black lens bracket. You deeply recalled sage mode, slowly established a connection with the curse seal, and had an epiphany. Close black lens bracket. You noticed the flaws of the curse seal and tried to improve it. You created the immortal body Dao pattern. Close black lens bracket. Celestial body Dao pattern, an upgraded version of the curse seal. It is also divided into 2 states. The immortal body Dao pattern can automatically absorb natural energy, greatly enhance the user's ninja phantasm, and can automatically balance the natural energy and the chakra in the body proportion. Haha, it really worked. The effect of the immortal body Dao pattern is so strong, it's like an automatic version of Sage Mode. Sasuke opened his eyes and smiled. The original curse seal originated from Chongwu. It was formed by Orochimaru using Jugo's bodily fluids and injecting his own will into it. Although it can absorb some natural power, it is extremely unstable. It may even corrode the user's body, which is a great hidden danger. But the immortal body Dao mark is different. It simply absorbs natural energy without any side effects. The effect is comparable to Sage Mode. But there are two big benefits over Sage Mode. First, use Sage Mode to absorb natural energy, and the body cannot move, otherwise this process will be interrupted. Therefore, the natural energy absorbed by each Sage Mode is limited and will be released after use. And the use of immortal body Dao patterns can continuously replenish natural energy. And it's absorbed very quickly. It's equivalent to turning on Sage Mode all the time, and you can imagine how terrifying the effect is. Secondly, the immortal body Dao pattern also has the effect of a curse seal. It can automatically balance the proportion of natural energy and eliminate the disadvantages of Sage Mode that will petrify when the natural energy is out of control. This is like Sage Mode where the difficulty of training drops sharply. It's also safer. More importantly, the immortal body pattern created by Sasuke can be taught to others. Although this is somewhat difficult, as long as you can accurately control the chakra in your body to form the Dao pattern, you will be considered successful. Sasuke murmured. Of course, what he develops himself must be the most suitable for him. The efficiency and effect of absorbing natural energy are the best. As for other people's learning, it depends on their understanding. The more accurate the immortal body Dao patterns formed, the better the effect will be. Well, this is a bit like the completion of Mount Myoboku Sage Mode. Sasuke thought to himself, if your understanding is too poor, the Dao pattern that controls the formation of chakra will be very crude. Its effect may be equivalent to an ordinary curse seal without side effects. More importantly, the immortal body Dao pattern perfectly matches my chakra refining method. Sasuke was excited. Infinite chakra refining method running every moment, consuming its own energy, pure chakra. And using the immortal body Dao pattern, it just brings in the natural energy from the outside world to supplement it. This will make Sasuke's chakra evolve faster and faster. It can even cause a chain reaction. Because of the perfect bloodline purification method, Sasuke is further stimulated to awaken his sage body. What would it be like if I could fully awaken the sage body and then use the immortal body Dao mark? Sasuke couldn't help but feel hopeful when he thought of this. By then, to what extent will your strength grow? Well, let's try the effect first and then talk about it. Sasuke thought, and chakra quickly gathered in his body. It flows out through the meridians network of the whole body and slowly forms lines on the body surface. Sasuke's arms, chest, and face appeared one by one. Mysterious and complex golden lines like flames. Immortal body Dao pattern status 1. The effect is comparable to Sage Mode. In an instant, the natural energy in the world was activated. Madness surged into Sasuke's body. He tried to refine it using the chakra refining method. While Sasuke was immersed in training. Haha, little Sakura, this grilled fish is so delicious. Tisk tisk, using the method Sasuke taught us, the grilled fish really tastes better. Naruto and little Sakura gathered around the campfire. He was eating grilled fish with a happy face. The two of them didn't notice that there were several pairs of eyes staring at them in the darkness. Haha, I finally found it. That's right, it's Uchiha Sasuke's two companions. Strange, why isn't Uchiha Sasuke here? Sak and King were a little confused. Look carefully, the tree hole behind them. Uchiha Sasuke, it should be hiding inside. Toph's voice was low. How about it, do you want to take action? HMPH, with my air-cutting wave, I will definitely blow them to pieces. Sark squeezed his palms and sneered. Kill Sasuke and complete Lord Orochimaru's mission. He will definitely give us a great reward. Jin also pulled out a sharp steel needle. Go ahead and kill his two companions first. Toss immediately ordered. He flicked the arm guard on his hand. Suddenly, a wave of sound spread quickly. Around the campfire. Naruto and Sakura suddenly heard a musical sound. Well, what's going on? Naruto felt his surroundings spinning. It seemed as if he couldn't support his body and would fall to the ground. Be careful, an enemy is coming. Little Sakura steeled herself and reminded her. Humph, it's a pity that you knew it too late. Before he finished speaking, 3 black shadows emerged from the woods. Toss and others held kunai and quickly killed the 2 of them. Naruto and Sakura stood up unsteadily, preparing to face the enemy. Too slow. A kunai stabbed Naruto in the chest. Blood splattered, and a smile appeared on Toss's face. Sat condensed chakra and blasted out a palm wave, hitting little Sakura right in the middle. Haha, let's deal with 2 first. The ninjas of Konoha are really weak. The 3 of them smiled. Just then, with a bang, Naruto's body turned into white smoke and disappeared. Suddenly, 2 fists flew out and hit Toss in his face hard. Hey, I lied to you, idiot. Sasuke is right, Shadow Clone is really easy to use. 2 Narutos appeared from the side with mocking expressions on their faces. Sark, Toss, how are you? Jin, the only female ninja among the 3, shouted from the side. HMPH, do you still have time to care about others? Little Sakura's voice came from above. Jin raised her head fiercely, waved her hand, and several sharp steel needles were shot at her. The moment the steel needle hits little Sakura, bang, she turned into a piece of wood. No, it's the body replacement technique, it was fooled. She was shocked. Sure enough, little Sakura rushed out from the side and punched her hard in the face. Thump, the 3 of them fell together, a little embarrassed. HMPH, the ninjas of Konoha are so naive. Toss got up from the ground. Just now, you clearly had the opportunity to kill us. That's right, being kind to your enemies is being cruel to yourself. Haven't you Konoha taught you that? The 2 of them, Sark, also stood up. Now, it's 3 against 2. Naruto scratched his head, comparing people. I happen to be very good at it. He stretched out his hand to form a seal and activated multiple shadow clone techniques. With a bang, dozens of Narutos instantly appeared around them, surrounding the 3 of them. Hey, now, it's 30 versus 3. Sakura-chan, protect Sasuke, let's go. Naruto let out a strange scream, and dozens of people rushed forward. What? These guys are not ordinary clones. The 3 of Toss were very surprised that so many shadow clones were separated at once. Konoha's genin was so unexpected. Naruto stood on a big tree and wiped his nose. Sasuke is so powerful, I can't be thrown away by him. In the past few months, Naruto has been frequently tutored by Sasuke, and has often fought with him in actual combat. Naruto's talents are gradually revealed, and his strength has improved significantly. At this moment, dozens of his shadow clones swarmed up with a kunai in hand, leaving the 3 of them in a panic. Watch the move and cut the air wave. Sark opened his hands and blasted out 2 air cannons, knocking away several Narutos in front of him. But then, other Naruto quickly threw out his shurikens. Hehe, this move is called shuriken from all directions. Thick shurikens flew towards them, making Sak and Jin look panicked. At the critical moment, Toss flicked the arm guard on his hand. The terrifying sound waves centered on him and spread out in all directions, deflecting the flying shurikens. Those tough guys, Sak, Jin, ignore those shadow clones and attack the main body directly. Toss leaned down and quickly rushed towards Naruto on the big tree nearby. Damn it, let's see what's going on. Naruto threw out the kunai in his hand, but Toss raised his hand and knocked it away. Immediately afterwards, the gauntlets on his hands emitted a sonic attack that enveloped Naruto. He immediately staggered and fell to the ground. HMPH, I caught you. Toss grabbed Naruto's neck, trying to use it as a threat. But the next second, Naruto in his hand turned into white smoke with a bang. What? This is also a clone. Toth's eyes widened. Watch the moves, Uzumaki Naruto combos. Naruto fell from the sky and kicked him hard on the head. Toss fell from the big tree, broke several branches, and then hit the ground hard, vomiting blood. Hey, who told you that the main body has to stand aside and watch the show? Naruto said proudly. Damn it. On the other side, Sak and Jin looked at each other and quickly rushed towards the tree hole behind them. HMPH, let's just kill Sasuke. Get out of here, little girl. As soon as Sak stretched out his hand, the air cannon blasted out, directly forcing little Sakura back. He was about to rush into the tree hole. Suddenly, with a bang, his body flew backwards at a faster speed. He fell to the ground in a panic. I said, "Who are you going to kill?" Sasuke's figure emerged from the darkness. "Naruto, you are too gentle against the enemy." The corners of Sasuke's mouth quirked up. The next second, his figure flashed and appeared in front of Sak. So fast, everyone present was shocked almost at the same time. "Stop being so arrogant, Sasuke was about to fight back, but Sasuke grabbed his neck and slammed him against a big tree nearby. Sharingan, illusion. The Magatama in Sasuke's eyes moved, and Sasuke's eyes were in a trance. He only felt as if he had fallen into a dark space, with countless big snakes twisting around him and biting his arm fiercely. The severe pain made him cry uncontrollably. Sak rolled his eyes, drooled at the corners of his mouth, and fell to the ground weakly. HMPH, my spirit is so fragile. Sasuke let go. Whose turn is it next? Toss and Jin suddenly broke out in cold sweat. Too strong. It's not a one-dimensional strength at all. Toss felt deeply powerless. Orochimaru's mission was so outrageous that it almost cost them their lives. Wait, Sasuke, we surrender. As long as you spare us. I'm willing to hand over the scroll. Toss took out the earth scroll and slowly placed it on the ground. What if I say no? Sasuke looked at him, the corners of his mouth raised slightly. In that case, I will have no choice but to destroy the scroll. Toss's heart tightened and he said bravely. Sasuke was silent for a moment. Forget it, take this trash and get out. He kicked Sark away. Toss and the other two immediately helped him up and slowly retreated deep into the forest. After pulling away, he quickly turned around and disappeared into the darkness. Great, Sasuke, it just happens to be the Earth Scroll. Little Sakura stepped forward and picked up the scroll, with a look of surprise on her face. Yoshi, this way we are all together. Naruto also released the shadow clone and walked over quickly. But then again, Sasuke, you were really scary just now. Naruto muttered. The scene where Sasuke easily defeated Sark and shocked both Toss left a deep impression on him. If they don't mess with me, I won't bother to take action. Sasuke shook his head, then looked to the sky. Well, it's almost daybreak. Naruto, Sakura-chan, get ready to go. Yoshi, reach your destination in one go. This time, we must win first place. Naruto said energetically. First of all, it's impossible. I'm afraid someone has already arrived. Sasuke said calmly. Ah, what a pity. Naruto was a little annoyed. He still wanted to hit the first place. Sasuke thought to himself. They were first attacked by Orochimaru, which wasted a lot of time. Afterwards, he spent most of the day deducing the immortal body Tao patterns and practicing. Then came the attack of the three sound ninjas. Without these hindrances, they might have arrived before dark. After all, with his current strength, it shouldn't be easy to defeat other genin. Soon, the three of them set off again. Although there are many kinds of beasts in the forest of death. But it can't stop a few people at all. The 10 kilometers distance soon came to an end. Standing on a big tree, Naruto and the others could even see the tall tower in the distance. Phew, it's finally here. Naruto breathed a sigh of relief and looked at the scroll in his hand. Hey, Sasuke, aren't you curious, little Sakura? What's on these scrolls? Naruto said suddenly. Hey, Naruto, don't cause trouble for me. Little Sakura clenched her fists. It's coming soon anyway. How about taking a look at what's written on the scroll first? Naruto said while backing up and smiling. Idiot, this is a trap. I deliberately let you get the scroll but don't open it, just to arouse your curiosity. Besides, maybe there is a mechanism in the scroll that will burn down automatically after opening it. Sasuke glanced at him and said deliberately. Naruto scratched his head. Okay, it does make sense. When several people wanted to reach the tower in one go, suddenly, a figure came out of the forest. Kabuto-senpai, why is it you? Hey, are you disguised with transformation technique again? Naruto and Sakura stared at him warily. Haha, Naruto, I got separated from my companions. I just got lost and have been wandering around. It's a good thing I met you, otherwise I would have been in danger. If I met a team alone, I would definitely have no chance of winning. Yakushi Kabuto waved his hand and explained with a smile. The corners of Sasuke's mouth raised slightly. Pack. Pretend for me, little bastard. This guy obviously wants to collect information, and he pretends to be like this on purpose. Sasuke also has to admire Yakushi Kabuto's acting skills. Okay, you continue to find your companions, and we will take the first step. Sasuke refused outright. Just kidding, he doesn't want Yakushi Kabuto and Orochimaru to know his true identity. Although, they may not be able to beat me now. He took Naruto and the others and was about to turn around and leave. Etc. Yakushi Kabuto shouted quickly. What, you want to start a war with us? Sasuke stared at him coldly. Yakushi Kabuto's face tightened, and a hint of gloom flashed deep in his eyes. Don't get me wrong, I think my companions may have gone to the tower first. Otherwise, I'll go with you. Yakushi Kabuto said with a smile. Get out of here, or else I'll kill you, Sasuke said coldly, his scarlet eyes filled with murderous intent. You. Yakushi Kabuto took a few steps back, a smile frozen on his face. I know, I'd better find my teammates first. Then he turned and quickly entered the forest. After he was far away, he stopped with a gloomy look on his face. What's going on? Is it an illusion? The murderous intention shown by Sasuke just now made him feel fear in his heart. He was completely shocked. This made Yakushi Kabuto very confused. With his strength, it was obviously impossible to be afraid of this kid. Could it be a Sharingan illusion? Yakushi Kabuto could only bury his doubts in his heart. Now, it's hard to explain the information about Orochimaru-sama. He thought for a while and made a note to contact the 3 sound ninjas. I said Sasuke, why are you so cruel to Kabuto-senpai? You forgot that he also shared information with us during the first exam. Both Naruto and Sakura were a little confused. HMPH, he has an ulterior motive for approaching us. He can't deceive my Sharingan. You two, be careful. Sasuke didn't explain much. Let's go. Naruto nodded helplessly. Needless to say, little Sakura already admires Sasuke. Naruto, on the other hand, was impressed by Sasuke's strength and guidance during this period. The trio is led by Sasuke. Soon, several people walked through the forest and quickly entered the tower. Several people had gathered in the main hall on the first floor. Sasuke saw the Gaara trio waiting at a glance. And Team Neji. Ah, damn it, it's actually third place. Naruto looked depressed. HMPH, I thought the Uchiha clan was so powerful, but now they're just taking their time. Kankuro looked at Sasuke and said, asshole, what did you say? If we hadn't been attacked by a big snake. Naruto was about to retort when Sasuke held his shoulder down. Okay, Naruto, there's no point in a war of words. Let's decide the winner on the field. Sasuke secretly thought, it was so dangerous, Naruto almost let it slip. You know, in addition to a few candidates, there are also many examiners, and even Anko is watching from a distance. Being attacked by Orochimaru and still able to escape unharmed will definitely attract attention. Sasuke took the two of them to a remote location and sat down, waiting quietly. Not far away, Neji and Rock Lee stared at Sasuke. They are well aware of Sasuke's terrifying strength. I can kill Shao Li instantly with just illusions. Neji has already regarded Sasuke as his biggest opponent in this Chunin exam. As time flows, team after team slowly walked out of the Death Forest and arrived at the main hall. In a room on the second floor of the tower, Anko, several examiners, and Anbu were reporting to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Hokage-sama, this is the situation. Lord Hokage, this dangerous guy Orochimaru is here. The Chunin exam should be stopped immediately. That's right, compared to catching him, the Chunin selection exam is no longer important. The rest of the people spoke. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a deep breath of cigarette and shook his head slightly. Orochimaru is very cunning, it will be difficult to catch him. Moreover, if he dares to appear openly in Konoha, he must have a backup plan. It's not a good time to start a fight and disturb him now, let's just keep everything as usual. Sarutobi Hiruzen said slowly, but in his mind, he was guessing Orochimaru's intentions. The thing that can arouse his covetousness in Konoha now, is it the Uchiha bloodline? Sarutobi Hiruzen knows very well that Orochimaru has practiced a cruel forbidden technique, turning around without corpse. Every few years, a body is replaced. Those talented young men with rare blood inheritance limits and extremely talented people often become his targets. Apparently, Sasuke is one of them. However, you should pay close attention and keep an eye out for Orochimaru. By the way, call all the Jonin in the village. Yes, Lord Hokage. Enko nodded. A few days later. Finally, it was time for the second exam. Sasuke and the others gathered in the main hall. He turned around and scanned the crowd around him, and found that Kakashi, Might Guy, Yuhi Kurenai and other Jonin were all here. In addition, there are a group of elite Chunin including Izumo, Zeti, and several Anbu hiding in the dark. The formation looks amazing. Suddenly, he was startled. That guy is Orochimaru. Sasuke saw a cold man wearing a sound ninja forehead protector in the corner. With his spiritual perception, he can be sure that the familiar chakra is Orochimaru. I see, gathering so many elites is to prevent Orochimaru from causing trouble. However, Sarutobi Hiruzen is really useless. Orochimaru can't even be noticed when he appears in front of his eyes. Sasuke looked at the third Hokage in front of the stone statue and thought to himself. He estimated that Orochimaru appeared probably to observe the changes in the curse seal on his body. It's a pity that the curse mark you left has been absorbed by me. Moreover, this qualifying match will end soon. Of course, as long as Sasuke wants to, he can easily control the immortal body runes to transform into the curse seal of the sky. No flaws can be seen. Enko looked at the 7 teams below with some helplessness. Originally, she was thinking of using the test of the Death Forest to reduce the number of people to single digits to prepare for the next battle. Now it seems that the strength of this batch of candidates is a bit beyond his imagination. Wow, I didn't expect that, Kakashi, all 9 of your new genin passed this year. HMPH, you can see the duel between our students soon. You are looking forward to it. Might Guy touched his chin and said proudly. Guy, are you talking to me? Kakashi turned his head, looking confused. Damn it, it's like this every time. You are worthy of being my eternal opponent. Might Guy bites the bullet. Wow, all the students in the same period passed. Naruto looked around excitedly, secretly expecting his opponent. Damn it, little Sakura even passed. Ino gritted her teeth and said. Please, Ino, with Sasuke here, shouldn't it be natural for them to pass? Shikamaru dug his ears with his little finger. The next match must not be a team battle, otherwise we will be in real trouble against Sasuke. I think we can just give up when the time comes. Choji whispered, everyone here looks very strong. What did you say? Choji, you want me to lose to Sakura-chan? Ino stared at him fiercely. Choji suddenly broke out in cold sweat on his forehead. Hey, that scary guy is here too. The Toga trio looked at Gaara and sighed. He is too dangerous. It is best for us to forfeit against him. Kiba patted the frightened Akamaru. Shino also nodded slightly. After seeing Gaara's strength in the Death Forest, the 3 of them were completely frightened. I don't know, who is stronger, Sasuke-kun or him? Hinata secretly glanced at Sasuke not far away. Suddenly, Sasuke turned his head and smiled at her, making Hinata look shy. Soon, Sarutobi Hiruzen took a step forward, coughed and began to speak. The general meaning is very clear. This Chunin selection is a joint examination of each village, and its significance is similar to the epitome of the war between major ninja villages. The performance in the exam represents the strength of each country and village. Therefore, ninjas participating in the exam must go all out, even if they risk their lives. The implication is simple, you Konoha genin represent the face of the land of fire. We must fight hard. The atmosphere on the field made everyone feel nervous. Soon, Sarutobi Hiruzen waved. With a bang, the white smoke dissipated, and the moonlight blast came on stage. Ahem, given the large number of people who passed the first 2 exams, we have temporarily decided to add a qualifying round. The qualifying round will be a one-on-one matchup and will start immediately. Moonlight Hayate coughed and said. What? Preliminary selection? Is there any mistake? We finally passed through the forest of death. That is, you are exhausted now and you have to participate in the next one right away. Everyone was talking about it. Especially Shikamaru and others, they were already weak and had a hard time getting through the second game. They had to continue participating before they recovered, which made them unable to help but complain. If you are injured and feel unable to participate, you can choose to abstain. Moonlight Gale's words made everyone startled. Abstain? Are you kidding me? Naruto shouted, if we were scared, we wouldn't come to participate, let's get started. Hearing this, everyone smiled slightly. That's right, after finally getting to this point, who would give up easily? I abstain. Yakushi Kabuto narrowed his eyes and raised his hand. What? The other candidates turned their attention to him. We have reached this point, and some people actually give up. As expected, Kabuto doesn't want to expose his strength. Sasuke secretly thought that as a spy, his main task is to collect intelligence. There is really no need to participate in the next competition. Chapter 51. In the stands, Orochimaru smiled grimly. Yes, Kabuto, your mission has been completed. Next, it's time to enjoy Sasuke's battle. It's really exciting. He looked at Sasuke and licked his lips. Kabuto-senpai, why should you give up? Naruto shouted in confusion. In his opinion, isn't it every genin's dream to become a chunin? Sorry, Naruto, my body has reached its limit. Even if I participate in the next battle, I won't be able to pass. Kabuto said with narrowed eyes, and with the helpless expression on his face. Sasuke also wanted to praise his superb acting skills. Well, you are Yakushi Kabuto from Konoha, okay, you can leave. Moonlight Hayate nodded and crossed out his name. On the side, Anko looked at him with doubts. This guy named Kabuto did the same thing last time. Judging from his information, this is the 7th time he has taken the Chunin exam. It would be too easy to give up. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned when he heard this. He had just finished his motivational words and wanted the Konoha shinobi to go all out. As a result, the guy named Kabuto gave up immediately. Wasn't this a slap in his face? Anko, what's his origin? Sarutobi Hiruzen felt unhappy and asked. Guys like this will never join Konoha's core layer in the future. Master Hokage, he is the boy you brought back from the battle at Mount Kikyo. He was later adopted by the medical team. However, he took the graduation exam 3 times before passing it. He doesn't seem to have any ninja talent. So that's it. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded. Such a marginal person was not worthy of his attention. Okay, let's continue. Among the crowd, Yakushi Kabuto pushed up his glasses. Guy, the rest is up to you. By the way, try your best to show your strength, maybe you can get reused by Orochimaru-sama. Enjoy the next mission. He patted his companion on the shoulder and turned to leave. Don't be so proud. Guy, wearing sunglasses and a mask, snorted coldly. Moonlight Hayate looked at everyone on the field and confirmed that no one had withdrawn. Okay, then let's start the preliminaries, and the remaining 20 people will have a one-on-one actual battle. This battle will not end until one party dies, falls down, or voluntarily admits defeat. Start pairing now. Moonlight Gale waved, and the big screen on the side automatically turned on. People's names began to scroll on the screen. First match, Uchiha Sasuke's red body armor. Moonlight Hayate coughed. Okay, let the others watch the stands first, while you two stay. Soon, everyone else left. Only Sasuke was left, facing each other. There is no objection from both sides. Moonlight Hayate glanced at the two of them. Of course, this battle is exactly what I want. Akane guy sneered. Like the Sound Ninja Trio, he accepted the mission assigned by Orochimaru. The main objective is to kill Uchiha Sasuke. Sasuke, come on, kill him. In the stands, Naruto, Sakura, Ino, Hinata and others all spoke. Hyuga Neji, Gaara, and Rock Lee also watched attentively. They also want to see Sasuke's true strength. Orochimaru was also a little excited. Very good. With Guy's ability, he can just push Sasuke to his limit. Right now, he can barely suppress the curse seal. When the chakra is exhausted, he can only rely on my power. Moonlight Hayate saw the two of them nodding. He waved his hand fiercely. The battle begins. But the two of them still stood facing each other without any movement. You two, the battle begins. He thought they didn't hear clearly, so he repeated it. But the next moment, Sasuke turned around and walked directly to the stands. Wait, Uchiha Sasuke, do you want to abstain? The battle has begun. Moonlight Hayate shouted. Start. No, it's over. Sasuke turned his head, and the scarlet Sharingan looked at him, with the corners of his mouth raised slightly. Bang! As soon as he finished speaking, the red copper armor suddenly fell to the ground. The sunglasses were broken, revealing his white eyes. What? Unexpectedly, I killed him instantly with just one glance. In the stands, everyone was stunned. They looked at this scene in disbelief. Completely stunned by Sasuke's strength. It's so unexpected. As soon as the battle started, Sasuke had already won. Sasuke, you look so cool. Ino and little Sakura looked infatuated. Even Hinata couldn't help but peek at him. It's an illusion, such a powerful illusion. Kurenai Yuhi looked at Sasuke with a surprised look on her face. Well, as expected of the Uchiha clan, your genjutsu ability is truly amazing. As a jonin in Konoha who is famous for his genjutsu, Sasuke's performance made her shine. I can't help but love talents. After all, Hinata and teammate are not good at genjutsu. This made her very depressed. She had a powerful illusion but couldn't find a suitable successor. Well, I have to find a way to get Sasuke to receive my own genjutsu instruction. Yuhi Hong touched her red lips with a smile on her face. How so? Orochimaru frowned, feeling as uncomfortable as eating a fly. HMPH, this guy, Akane guy, is really useless. He came here specially just to see how powerful Sasuke was when he used the power of the curse seal after being in a desperate situation. I didn't expect the battle to end so quickly. He didn't see anything. Huh, are you surprised by this sound ninja teacher? Suddenly, Sasuke stopped in front of him and spoke. Haha, I am really surprised that Konoha has such a strong genin. Haha, Uchiha Sasuke, I remember your name. Orochimaru concealed his embarrassment and said with a smile. Yeah, the corners of Sasuke's mouth raised slightly, with a contemptuous smile on his face. Watching his leaving figure, Orochimaru licked his lips. What a terrifying talent, Sasuke, I want your body even more. Sasuke walked up to the stands and met Kakashi and others. Wow, Sasuke, you are so handsome. Oh, damn, you stole the spotlight again this time. Naruto looked unwilling. Naruto, if you don't practice hard, you will be further and further away from me. Sasuke smiled slightly. Well done, Sasuke, since when did your genjutsu become so powerful? Kakashi gave a thumbs up. Of course he knew that Sasuke was extremely powerful and could easily defeat his opponent. However, he was still very surprised by the way of killing him instantly with a single glance of illusion. This talent is really beyond belief. Kakashi sighed. This was not the first time that he felt a gap in Sasuke. Maybe, it won't be long before Sasuke will surpass me as a teacher. Kakashi thought to himself. The battle with Sasuke came to an end. Keep scrolling on the big screen. Soon, the name of the second duel appeared. Aburame Shinopsuke. With the gap in hard power, Sark can't win. Sasuke commented secretly, although Sasuke's hands were intact this time. But Shino's parasitic bugs are very restrained, and there is almost no hope of victory. Sure enough, when the two faced off, and after several exchanges, Shino distanced himself. Sasuke activated the Sharingan and immediately saw that Sasuke's arms were covered with parasites. Many parasites blocked the muzzle of his palm, but he himself did not notice it at all. Still aiming at Shino with both hands. Suffer death, Genin of Konoha. The final Zonkonbo, the final showdown. Sark smiled ferociously and concentrated chakra to attack. The next second, his hands exploded instantly, blood splattered. What? The other candidates were shocked. Judging from the scene, it was clear that Sak had the advantage. Unexpectedly, the victory or defeat could be decided in an instant. But Jonin like Kakashi had expected this scene and were not surprised at all. Soon, Sak was carried away and Shino emerged victorious. In the third game, Kankuro uses the puppet technique. Another member of Yakushi Kabuto's team had his entire body crushed to pieces by his puppet. A clean victory. Puppetry and mechanisms make others secretly more vigilant. Game 4, Sakura vs Ino. The two female ninjas started a desperate fight. Especially seeing Sasuke standing in the stands, as if to prove himself to him. The two fought with all their might and were inseparable. The onlookers were surprised by the fierce battle between the two. Although the level displayed by the two is not very high, their tenacious fighting spirit is touching. Kakashi and others Jonin commented secretly. Haha, what a well-matched opponent. Kakashi, this scene reminds me of the battle with you. Youth, it's so exciting. Might Guy clenched his fists and said excitedly. Ah, Kai, are you talking to me again? Kakashi turned his head and said, sorry, I was too fascinated by this battle. Might Guy, at the end of the game, Sakura and Sakura fell into a coma after punching each other, and both lost. What? It's so surprising. I never expected that it would end in a draw. However, little Sakura is already doing very well. The fifth game, Tiantian vs Tamari. Another showdown between female ninjas. Hey, this is a Tiantian attack. Let's have a second of silence for Tiantian. Sasuke shook his head inwardly. Tiantian's unique skill is to use a large number of ninja tools to saturate the enemy. Unfortunately, these ninja tools are useless against a wind-style master. Sure enough, not long after the battle started, Tiantianjin used all his strength and kept throwing various ninja tools at Tamari. However, Tamari just opened the iron fan and slammed it, and wind-style blew all the ninja tools away in an instant. Even the ninja tool that was blown away turned around and attacked Tiantian. The final result is obvious, Tiantian fails miserably. Rock Lee took action in time and caught Tiantian falling from mid-air. Ninjas of Sand Hidden, it's too much for you to treat an opponent who is going all out like this. He couldn't help shouting, Humph, he's just a loser, his strength is only like this. Tamari said disdainfully. Just as Rock Lee was about to take action, Might Guy stepped out to stop him. Lee, let's have another showdown on the field. I understand, Teacher Guy. Rock Lee lowered his head. Cheyenne Guy, listen up, his strength will definitely shock you. Might Guy said seriously. Gaara and the others didn't take it to heart. After all, Sasuke, the Konoha shinobi who had shown his strength before, was the only one he could take seriously. Game 6, Shikamaru's Gold. This is a pure IQ crushing. Of course, with Shikamaru's shadow imitation skills and clever mind, he wins. Game 7, Uzumaki Naruto vs Inuzuka Kiba. It's this noisy hedgehog's turn. Kankuro smiled, look at his strength. Oh, the weaker the person who loves to talk, you better not expect too much. Tamari shook her head and said, in comparison, I want to see Sasuke's true strength. Wait. On the day when the plan is implemented, there will definitely be a chance to hand over the phone. Gaara's eyes widened and murderous intent surged. Hey, it started again, the monster inside him. Cold sweat broke out on both Kankuro's foreheads. Naruto, I'm sorry, I want the spot this time. Ya secretly rejoiced. Don't take it too easy against Naruto, the weakling. He couldn't help but sigh that he was so lucky. However, when the two of them fought, Ya realized that he was terribly wrong. Whether it's physical or ninjutsu, Naruto has improved a lot compared to his ninja school days. Even after using multiple shadow clone techniques, it was a bit difficult for Ya to resist. Even with the beast mimic ninja technique, Kiba's speed could barely keep up with Naruto. Why did this guy suddenly become so powerful? Ya was secretly surprised. Soon, Naruto used the transformation technique, transformed into Akamaru, and made a tooth movement. Finally, at close range, multiple shadow clone attacked together and defeated Ya. Naruto smiled proudly when he saw Ya being knocked to the ground. After learning from Sasuke for so long, I have become more and more proficient in using shadow clone. Everyone present was slightly surprised. No way, Naruto can also defeat Kiba. Among the students of the same generation, we must be the weakest group, right? Shikamaru held up his face and looked speechless. Naruto, good job. Little Sakura waved to him. A smile appeared on Sasuke's lips. During this time, his advice was not in vain. Naruto, this kid is progressing too fast. Yuhi Kurenai gritted her teeth slightly and couldn't help but glance at Sasuke. I thought to myself, Kakashi's teaching level is so high. Not only is Sasuke terrifyingly strong, but even Naruto, the original weakling, has also improved significantly. Soon, the big screen scrolled again. Game 8, Hyuga Hinatov's Hyuga Neji. The duel between the Hyuga clan seems a bit interesting. However, Hyuga Neji is known as a rare genius of the Hyuga clan, and he is probably much stronger. Besides, given the years of conflict between the Hyuga clan and the branch house, Neji won't be ruthless. Kakashi and several other Jonin whispered. Hinata. Yuhi Hong looked worried. Soon, timid Hinata walked onto the stage. She looked towards the stands and saw Sasuke smiling at her, which reassured her. I never thought you would be my opponent. Neji rolled his eyes at her and continued. Honestly, with your personality Hinata, you are not suitable to be a ninja at all. You are not confident in yourself, let alone completing the mission with the team members after becoming Chunin. I think you should give up. Enough. Hinata raised her head sharply, interrupting Neji's argument. She began to recall Sasuke's encouragement and guidance in her mind. I want to prove that I am a qualified ninja. Hinata said with firm eyes. I will definitely become a qualified heir to Hyuga. She added silently in her mind. Okay, in that case, let me see your strength. Hyuga Neji stopped talking nonsense and opened his eyes suddenly. The network of meridians around his eyes stood out, opening his white eyes. Hinata assumed a gentle fist fighting stance, also turning on her Byakugan. Following Moonlight Gale's command, the two quickly launched an attack. The two gathered chakra in their hands and constantly used gentle fist to attack each other, looking for each other's weaknesses. Sasuke watched silently. The duel between gentle fists can be decided with one strike. After all, gentle fist can penetrate the flesh and directly attack fragile internal organs. Once caught, you will die if you are not careful. A duel between gentle fist masters is like dancing on a tightrope, with victory and defeat often decided by a hair's breadth. Not bad. Hinata's attack pinned Neji down. Little Sakura said in surprise. Great, keep doing this, Hinata, you can win. Naruto cheered from the sidelines. Sasuke noticed the clues and frowned slightly. Sure enough, there is still a big gap in strength between the two. The two fought dozens of moves, and sweat broke out on Hinata's forehead. Even breathing gradually became disordered. Neji still took his time and responded to Hinata's attacks. Suddenly, the two of them crossed paths. Neji struck out with a palm, knocking Hinata away, and at the same time followed up and slapped her chest with a palm. At the critical moment, Hinata only had time to put her hands in front of her chest before she was knocked away by a palm and fell heavily to the ground. Blood flowed from the corner of her mouth and she stood up with difficulty. What, you want to continue? Hyuga Neji stared at Hinata and spoke. Even though he didn't use his full strength in this attack, it was enough to defeat Hinata. Hinata didn't reply, but still looked at him stubbornly. Sasuke shook his head slightly, knowing that Neji still had a trick that he had yet to use. Even if Hinata uses her full strength, it will be difficult for her to win. And if she continues to fight, it will only increase the damage. Hinata, don't give up, you must win. Naruto encouraged him to die. Hey, forget it, Naruto, this kind of thing is Hinata's decision. Before Sasuke finished speaking, Hinata had already rushed forward. Neji gritted his teeth, and the image of his father flashed in his mind. Damn the Zong family, I'm going to make you pay the price. As they dodged, Neji blocked Hinata's attack and struck her in the abdomen with a heavy palm. Hinata vomited blood and fell down. I can't lose, Sasuke, and everyone else, passed. Hinata struggled to get up. That's right, Hinata, stand up, you can defeat. Shut up, Naruto. Naruto started to speak, but was interrupted by Sasuke. Listen, not everyone has hidden power like you. Sasuke's words made Naruto startled. He became the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, and as a descendant of the Uzumaki clan, he possesses a sage body. Let Naruto be thick-skinned and extremely resilient, like a strong boy from immune to death. Others are not as resistant to beatings as he is. Not to mention, Gentle Fist is lethal enough to destroy internal organs. Yuhi Hong looked worried, and she was about to stop him. Sasuke flashed and appeared next to Hinata. Give up. It doesn't matter if you fall behind temporarily. You'll just come back to practice later. Sasuke looked at Hinata and said. Yes, but I also want to. Hinata hesitated. Humph, Uchiha clan member, what qualifications do you have to interfere with our Hyuga clan? Hyuga Neji snorted coldly. Stop minding other people's business. How much do you know about the Hyuga clan? You understand my hatred, get out of my way. Hyuga Neji roared. Hatred. My hatred is no less than yours, but I will not vent my anger on others. If I were you, I would become stronger and stronger than everyone else in the Hyuga clan, and then, with my own hands, I would break the curse of the Hyuga clan with my own hands. Sasuke Sharingan appeared and said coldly. You, break. The curse. Hyuga Neji was stunned. The image of my father couldn't help but come to mind. Yes, become stronger. I must surpass everyone. I want to prove to you. Even caged bird has a moment when he breaks his shackles and soars into the sky. Neji gritted his teeth and silently clenched his fists. That's right, being behind for a while doesn't mean anything. I will also become stronger. Hinata stood up and raised her hands to give up. Upon seeing this, Neji turned around and left silently. In the stands, Yuhi Hong smiled happily when she saw this. Uchiha Sasuke, what a gentle little guy. Because of his appearance, Hinata did not continue to fight. Although he was still injured, it was not serious. You should be fine after resting for 10.5 days. Soon, Game 9. Gaurav's Rock Lee. Sasuke is full of expectations for this duel. I will record the power of 8 inner gates carefully. Sasuke Sharingan emerged, looking excited. This is an opportunity to experience the 8 inner gates up close. Understanding the 8 inner gates formation, with my understanding, I don't know what I will gain. He secretly expected it. Gaara turned into a gust of sand and jumped off the stands. He stared at Rock Lee with a gloomy expression. Come down, it's our turn. Lee, come on, let Sagakure see the strength of Konoha's blue beast. Might Guy held out his thumb and showed a confident smile. Yoshi, teacher Guy, I will definitely win. Rock Lee jumped and landed in front of Gaara. Humph, these two idiots have no idea of Gaara's strength. That's right, poor watermelon head, he's lucky to be alive. Temari and Kankuro sneered, they had full confidence in Gaara. The battle is about to begin. Leaf Hurricane. Rock Lee took the lead, closing the distance and hitting Gaara with a high sweep kick. Gaara stood with her hands behind her hands, her expression unchanged. The sand behind him surged out, automatically blocking the attack for him. Control Sand Ninjutsu. In the stands, everyone was a little surprised. HMPH, that watermelon head, how can the speed of his body keep up with the movement of sand? Temari sneered, as if she had seen Gaara win easily. Sure enough, Rock Lee kept attacking Gaara again and again with punches, kicks, knees and elbows. But they were all blocked by the sand behind him and returned in vain. HMPH, have you seen Gaara's sand shield, and that watermelon head wants to break it with physical skills. Haha, so naive. Kankuro looked at Naruto and the others with look on his face. Naruto was furious. It's too early to draw conclusions now. Sasuke stared down. You guys, it's better not to underestimate Xiao Li. Rock Lee was forced back by the sand and jumped onto the stone statue. Damn, these sands are moving so fast. Xiao Li, take it down, I agree. Might Guy suddenly shouted to him. Rock Lee was slightly startled, but this is my order. Defeat him. Yes, teacher Guy. Rock Lee nodded excitedly and took off the weights from his legs. The heavy iron body hit the floor, making 2 big holes and causing debris to fly. What? Everyone looked on in shock. This heavy load, are you kidding me? Guy, you're crazy. Kakashi was speechless, but their master and disciple could indeed do such a thing. The show begins. The corners of Sasuke's mouth raised slightly. After taking off the weight, Rock Lee is as light as a swallow and surprisingly fast. He moved his legs, leaving only an afterimage, and instantly approached Gaara. This time, the sand couldn't move fast enough, and he punched it hard and flew it away. What a speed! In the stands, everyone's eyes widened in shock. Some of the weaker ones, such as Choji Shikamaru and others, could not even see Rock Lee's actions clearly. How is it possible? His speed. Both Kankuro and Kankuro were sweating on their foreheads. This was the first time they had seen someone who could shake off sand with physical skills alone. The speed is truly astonishing, almost catching up with the speed at which I use the Chidori Ryu to stimulate my body's cells. Sasuke commented secretly. However, speed alone cannot defeat Gaara's sand armor. Lee, you still have to use 8 inner gates. Rock Lee attacks continuously and knocks Gaara away. he was shocked to find that the skin on Gaara's body began to fall off. It turned out to be sand, and he covered his whole body with this move. Might Guy was a little surprised. Xiao Li, fight quickly and defeat him with forbidden moves. Forbidden move? Kakashi wondered. Wait a minute, could it be? Suddenly, his eyes widened and he thought of something. Hey Guy, stop it, it's just a test. Might Guy smiled. Kakashi, watch, Konoha's new generation of beasts will shine brightly. The ultimate in taijutsu, this is Xiao Li's ninja way. The next second, Rock Lee's whole body turned red. The veins on his forehead popped out, and a powerful aura suddenly spread out. 8 inner gates, open. The chakra in his body surges rapidly, stimulating the meridian network throughout the body and quickly liberating the Emperor of Power. I see, this is the movement of chakra. In the stands, Sasuke revealed his Sharingan and stared intently. He vaguely understood the principle of 8 inner gates. 3rd gate, Shungmin, open. 4th gate, Injury gate, and boom. Rock Lee exerted a strong force, and the stone slab beneath his feet shattered. His whole body was like an afterimage, flashing in front of Gaara in an instant. Boom. With just one punch, Gaara was knocked away. The sand armor on his body was immediately covered with cracks, and even the stone slab under him was shattered and exploded. How is it possible that the armor of sand can be shattered with just one blow? Kankuro and Temari were shocked. Is this really the speed that humans can achieve? At this moment, Rock Lee's speed made Gaara start to doubt her life. Boom. Another kick, Gaara was kicked into the air. The armor on his body turned into sand and shattered piece by piece. The sand below still wanted to defend itself, but it was too late in the face of Rock Lee's ghostly speed. Todoroki. Rock Lee attacks again and again, causing Gaara to suffer heavy losses. If it weren't for the constant protection of the sand armor, he might have lost the ability to resist at this moment. The final blow, 5th gate, Duman, open. Take the move, Lorenhua. Rock Lee's blood surged all over his body, his skin turned red, and he punched hard. Oops, Gaara. Temari's face changed drastically. Without the protection of the sand armor, he received this punch from the front. Damn it. Gaara gritted her teeth and reluctantly opened her eyes. At the critical moment, part of the gourd behind him turned into quicksand, blocking him in front of him. The terrifying impact caused Gaara to hit the ground like a cannonball from top to bottom. A large pit appeared on the ground, and cracks appeared on a large number of stone slabs and spread like spider webs. Ah! Rock Lee let out a cry of pain. The terrible impact caused the muscles in his arms and legs to break. The whole person fell straight from midair. Sasuke, Kakashi and others' expressions tightened. It's better to use sand to defend it. When the smoke cleared, Gaara lay in the pit, with the sand forming a soft cushion behind him to protect him. Damn it, you actually put me in this situation. Gaara waved his hand, and a large amount of sand quickly wrapped around Xiao Li like tentacles. Rock Lee struggled desperately, but in the distance, Gaara tightened his grip. Sandbound coffin. The sand on Rock Lee's body tightened violently. The severe pain caused him to lose consciousness instantly and fainted. Blood slowly flowed down his arms and thighs. Go to hell. Gaara just wanted to kill him. Might Guy took action in time and kicked up the sand. The victory has been decided, it's over. Might Guy turned around and looked at Rock Lee, who was twitching slightly, with tears in his eyes. Medical class, come here quickly. Might Guy shouted. Yes. Everyone in the medical class quickly gathered around, and their expressions changed immediately when they saw Rock Lee's injury. In the stands, Kakashi, Sasuke and others also jumped down. Seeing Rock Lee's tragic situation, several people showed their unbearable expressions. Thick eyebrows, I didn't expect that you. Naruto's mouth twitched. Gaara climbed up and snorted coldly. This is what happens to ninjas without talent. What did you say? Naruto stared at him angrily, with red chakra surging faintly in his eyes. Naruto, calm down. If you are not convinced, you can fight him on the field and defeat him. Sasuke reminded. In this case, it would be great fun if Nine Tails in Naruto's body lost control. His words brought Naruto back to reality. That's right. Naruto clenched his fists. Gaara gave Sasuke a cold look and returned to the stands. Soon, the medical team pulled Might Guy aside after a preliminary diagnosis. Sasuke's mental power spread and he heard the conversation. People in the medical class predicted that with such serious injuries to his hands and feet, it would be impossible for Shaoli to become a ninja. Sure enough, his injury is very bad. Sasuke opened Sharingan and identified several special acupuncture points on Rock Lee's injured hands and feet. Then, he stabbed it in with dried bird senbon. Wait, Sasuke, what are you doing? The faces of Kakashi and others tightened. Rock Lee's hands and feet were seriously injured. If he continues to stimulate them, I'm afraid. Nothing, just a simple treatment. Sasuke just finished speaking. Sure enough, Rock Lee's hands and feet stopped bleeding. Unfortunately, we can only use 21 methods similar to acupuncture to stop his bleeding. If you want to completely cure Rock Lee, I'm afraid Tsunade, who is highly skilled in medical ninjutsu, will have to take action. Unfortunately, she is not in Konoha village now. Soon, Might Guy came over with a gloomy face and announced the bad news to everyone. How come? Naruto and the others looked shocked. Sasuke frowned slightly. Kakashi, I'm a little tired, please tell me what happens next. Then, he turned and left. In a closed secret room, Sasuke began to recall carefully the scene when Rock Lee used 8 inner gates. 8 inner gates is a dangerous physical technique. Its core essence is to open the channel that binds chakra in the human body, unleash its potential, and temporarily gain powerful power. But the further back the 8 gate is, the more damage the overdraft potential will cause to the human body. Like the 8th gate, the gate of death, it is almost a death-defying move that will completely burn itself and lead to death. The flaws are too great. Therefore, this type of taijutsu Sasuke cannot practice. He wants to improve it and create a powerful physical technique suitable for himself. 8 inner gates is to overdraw oneself and release power. But, the human body is like a small universe. It can communicate with the outside world, so why burn itself? Just like him now, he can immediately absorb a large amount of natural energy by using the immortal body Dao mark. If you can create a physical technique to seize the power of heaven and earth and use it for your own use, not only will the power of the physical technique be greatly increased, but the damage to oneself will also be drastically reduced. Sasuke thought to himself. Now he is becoming more and more comprehensive. The 3 most powerful ninjas, ninjutsu, taijutsu and genjutsu, correspond to chakra, physical body and spirit respectively. In terms of mental power, he developed 5 chapters of the New Moon Divine Forging technique to continuously strengthen his spirit, and his own bloodline continued to be purified Sharingan. That's enough, the illusion will definitely become stronger and stronger. In terms of ninjutsu and chakra, he possesses the infinite chakra refining method, an improved version of Oni Mailuo technique, and various powerful ninjutsu developed by heaven-defying understanding. In terms of ninjutsu, Sasuke is also confident and perfect. Only physical skills are lacking. This time, after observing the 8 inner gates up close, I just took the opportunity to develop a powerful physical technique. Soon, Sasuke's heaven-defying savvy comes into play. You have deeply analyzed the 8 inner gates and deeply understood the principles of the 8 inner gates and the rules of chakra operation. You feel something in your heart, use yourself as the furnace, and all things in the world as nourishment, and try to communicate with the universe and heaven and earth. Echoing with the stars, you have an epiphany. You created the body training technique, Dao Xing Jugong. In an instant, the chakra in Sasuke's body was running extremely fast. Every part of his body radiated faint light, and 9 bright stars appeared. The 9 big stars flickered on and off, like breathing, slowly echoing the stars in the sky. Above Sasuke's head, the light of stars flashed, gradually pouring into his body. After a long time, Sasuke slowly opened his eyes. His eyes seemed to reflect the stars of the universe. I finally succeeded. Sasuke breathed a sigh of relief. The 9 palaces of Dao stars, themselves as furnaces, communicate with the stars in the universe, which is the most powerful physical technique. The 9 stars of the human body are Pojun, Tanlang, Juman, Lucan, Wenchu, Lianjun, Wuku, Zuofu, and Yubi. They respectively correspond to the 9 avenue palaces in the body. Every time Sasuke breaks a Dao star, he can unlock the secrets of the human body, and the body's calendar area will increase horribly. At the same time, each Dao palace also has corresponding special abilities, which require him to explore carefully. Unfortunately, my body is still too weak now, and I can't even break the first star-breaking military star. Sasuke shook his head slightly. Breaking the first star-breaking military star will open the first palace, the Star Palace. The function of the Star Tao Palace is to guide and absorb the power of the stars in the 9 heavens. Use the power of the stars to refine your body and lay the strongest foundation. Suddenly, Sasuke had a vague realization. In the universe, in addition to chakra and other powers, there seem to be all kinds of magical powers. For example, the power of the sun he realized is one of them. Natural energy is also one of them. These powers are at least on par with chakra, or even superior to it. Every time I master a power and merge it with chakra, my strength will soar. Sasuke was a little excited, and he vaguely understood how to go next. However, the top priority is to exercise your body. At least, your body must be strong enough to withstand it and open the 10th palace. In this way, the power of the stars can be absorbed to temper the physical body. Thus truly stepping into the threshold of the body training technique, 9 palaces of Tao stars. Well, the 3rd exam will start in a month, so work hard. Sasuke decided to exercise crazily and practice physical skills during this period. After opening the Star Palace, I believe that my physical skills and physical strength will be greatly improved. The next day, Kakashi sent a message and arranged to meet. Although Sasuke was a little confused, he quickly rushed to the meeting place. It's Yuhi Kurenai. Sasuke was a little surprised to see the beautiful woman next to Kakashi. Sasuke, hello. Yuhi Hong smiled at him tenderly and stretched out her white hand. Teacher Hong. Sasuke responded politely. When he shook hands, he could still feel the softness of Yuhi's red palms. Kakashi, this is. Sasuke looked at him confused. Haha, Sasuke, Teacher Hong saw your performance and decided to teach you some illusions. Kakashi smiled and said, this is a good opportunity. Kurenai is our leading illusionist in Konoha. I see. Sasuke nodded slightly. It seems that during the last selection test, he used illusion to kill his opponent with one glance, which made Hong develop a love for talents. Okay, I'm leaving now. Sasuke, come on. Kakashi smiled and then disappeared. Sasuke, you don't mind my illusion. Yuhi Kurenai said half-jokingly. She knew very well that the Uchiha clan owned Sharingan and gave birth to many illusion masters. Of course not, please give me more advice next time. The corners of Sasuke's mouth raised slightly, revealing a bright smile. His handsome appearance and smile made Chunon's heart skip a beat. Sasuke, you are really handsome. Yuhi Hong couldn't help but think, for such a handsome boy, I wonder who would be lucky enough to be his wife. If you were younger. Bah, Hong, what are you thinking? You already have a Suma. Sunset Hong quickly calmed down. In fact, when it comes to the power of illusions, Sasuke is confident that he is even stronger than Kurenai Yuhi. However, his powerful illusion skills mainly rely on his strong mental power and Sharingan. In terms of true illusion skills and proficiency in using illusions, he is definitely not as good as the other party. After all, the other party has practiced illusion for more than 20 years, which is not what a young boy like him can compare with. Exactly. Let her strengthen the illusion and at the same time shorten the distance. Not only is Shihihong beautiful in appearance, she is also extremely pregnant. Sasuke thought to himself that if he could capture her, Uchiha would definitely be prosperous. There is no other way. In order to strengthen Uchiha, he has no choice but to ride the horse. Then, I'll trouble you later, Teacher Hong. Sasuke said with a smile. Okay, Sasuke, come with me. Yuhi Hong took him, and the two quickly got into the small forest on the edge of Konoha. In the forest training ground. Sasuke, you should know the principles of Genjutsu. Yuhi Hong asked. Well, illusion is a technique that uses chakra to interfere with the opponent's 5 senses, disrupt or even control the flow of chakra in the opponent's body, causing him to fall into hallucinations. Sasuke opened his mouth to answer. Yes, the principle of illusion determines that it is an auxiliary technique. Of course, powerful illusions also have lethal effects, and even some large-scale illusions can affect the trend of local wars. Yuhi Hong talked eloquently and explained carefully to Sasuke the application of illusion in combat. Sasuke, as a member of the Uchiha clan, Sharingan has an innate advantage in genjutsu. I believe your genjutsu achievements will surpass mine in the future. But now, let me teach you some illusions first. Look carefully, the first one is magical tree binding killing. Yuhi Hong forms a seal and casts an illusion on Sasuke. Okay, this illusion is not easy to practice. You should practice it for a while. I will. Yuhi Hong just spoke. Sasuke smiled slightly, and the next second, she fell into an illusion. A big tree grew from her hands and feet and bound her. Sasuke emerged from the trees. Miss Hong, is it like this? Sasuke stretched out his hand and gently pinched Yuhi Kurenai's chin with a smile on his face. Sasuke, you. Sunset Red is extremely shocking. Sasuke's talent and understanding are simply beyond her imagination. Magical tree binding killing is a ninjutsu with a level B level of difficulty. Corresponds to Jonin level. As a result, Sasuke learned it at a glance. In the illusion, Sasuke gently lifted Yuhi Kurenai's chin with his fingers and asked softly. How about it, Teacher Hong, have I learned this magic tree binding move? Sasuke's magnetic voice sounded in Yuhi Hong's ears. At the same time, hot breath hit his face. Suddenly, Yuhi Hong's heart was pounding, and a blush appeared on her beautiful face. I've learned it, Sasuke, please, let go of the teacher. Ziri Hongfang was confused and said hurriedly. In normal times, this level of illusion wouldn't make her unable to move. But now, it seems that she doesn't even have the strength to gather chakra. Teacher Hong, this is not possible. Isn't cracking illusions a basic compulsory course? Sasuke saw her look like this and said deliberately. You are not allowed to cause trouble, let me go. Yuhi Hong struggled and said, completely losing the look of an illusion master. The feeling of being controlled by illusion is not pleasant. Sasuke saw that she was about to get angry, so he released the genjutsu. After Yuhi Hong escaped from the illusion, Tuan breathed a sigh of relief. It's so embarrassing. I was counter-controlled by Sasuke using illusions. When she came back to her senses, she felt a little confused on her face. Fortunately, Sasuke didn't do anything inappropriate, otherwise. Thinking of this, Yuhi gave Sasuke a red look. She held up her teacher's stance and poked Sasuke's forehead with her finger. Okay, Sasuke, I really don't see how you dare to molest the teacher, how bad? Sasuke thought to himself, I will let you know how bad I am later. Yuhi Hong gave Sasuke a few words of education. Deep in the eyes as beautiful as rubies, there was a hint of approval. After all, who doesn't like a group student? Although she was a little embarrassed just now, she was very satisfied with the strength Sasuke showed just now. Just as a young boy, he has this kind of strength. How terrifying will it be when he grows up? With such a terrifying talent, Sasuke might become the strongest illusionist in history. Alas, compared to Ya and the others, Sasuke is much better. Yuhi Hong sighed inwardly. On the other side, at a training ground in the forest, Ya suddenly sneezed. Hey, what happened? Teacher Hong didn't come today. Ya rubbed his nose and said with a dissatisfied look on his face. Damn it, our 8th class only wants you to advance to the next level. Shino pushed up his sunglasses. Teacher Kurenai, I think you are going to teach Sasuke genjutsu. What? That's outrageous. Who is her student, Shino? Your most important competition will be in a month. Teeth sighed. Tooth, it doesn't matter. My parasites are mainly family secrets. Before Shino finished speaking, he heard a crack of teeth and rushed into the forest with Akamaru. Ya, you bastard. For the rest of the time, Sasuke was receiving genjutsu instruction from Kurenai Yuhi. At the same time, he also visited Might Guy to prepare for systematic learning of physical skills. In a ward of Konoha Hospital, Rock Lee was lying on the hospital bed, looking disappointed. Obviously, he also learned about his injury, and his ninja career seemed to be coming to an end. Might Guy sat beside the hospital bed and looked at Rock Lee with a worried look. My heart aches for what happened to my beloved disciple. Sasuke sighed aside. Teacher Guy, although Xiao Li's injury is serious, it should be curable if Tsunade, one of the legendary Sannin, takes action. Might Guy nodded slightly, and then his face showed disappointment. But the question is, Tsunade-sama has left Konoha village for a long time. Where is she now? Don't worry, After Chunin's exam is over, I promise to get her back. Sasuke said confidently. Might Guy and Xiaoli both looked up at him. Sasuke, are you serious? Of course. Sasuke nodded. Okay, in that case, I will take care of your physical training during this period. Might Guy smiled and said, I will teach you my physical training experience without any reservation. Sasuke then smiled. On the edge of a huge cliff. Might Guy is explaining the secrets of taijutsu to Sasuke. After a while, Sasuke nodded slightly. It seems that the practice of taijutsu is different from that of ninjutsu. There are almost no shortcuts. Although my heaven-defying understanding is very strong, it is of limited help in my physical training. To enhance your physical skills, you still have to exercise your body. No matter what, within this month, the official position must be opened. Sasuke's eyes were firm. He jumped down from the cliff, and then began to climb using only physical strength without using chakra. Next month, Sasuke focused mainly on taijutsu training. Under Might Guy's guidance, the muscle lines on his body gradually became clearer and clearer. The energy and spirit of the whole person are significantly improved. At this point, Sasuke could notice that Yuhi Kurenai's eyes were getting hotter every time he got along with her. Yuhi Kurenai taught Sasuke all the illusion knowledge she knew without any reservation, including some of Yuhi Kurenai's best illusions. Combined with her illusions, Sasuke also slowly developed new tricks. His strength is also steadily improving. On the other side, Sasuke also discovered that Naruto had indeed started training with Jiraiya. Under Jiraiya's guidance, Naruto gradually began to adapt to Nine Tails' power zone. Fourth Hokage, everything has been arranged long ago. Sasuke curled his lips. Naruto already had a sage body, plus Jiraiya's teachings. The strength naturally increases rapidly. He estimated that it would be even harder for Neji to win the Chunin exam a month later. Although Hyuga Neji is considered a genius. But compared with Naruto, a second generation with a profound background and outstanding bloodline, the gap is obvious. However, there was no comparison between Naruto and Sasuke today. Sasuke's strength has long since entered another dimension. The realm of cage-level experts. There is no way. Who calls him Guabi? A month goes by in a blink of an eye. In a blink of an eye, the day of Chunin's exam came. The Chunin examination venue was bustling with people, and a large number of spectators gathered to watch the battle, including the third Hokage, the cage disguised as Orochimaru, and important figures from the Kingdom of Destruction were present. Shikamaru, it's really strange. Why didn't Sasuke show up? Also, why did the referee change? Naruto scratched his head and said anxiously. Not only Sasuke, even that sound ninja guy didn't show up. Oh, it's really troublesome to have so many people watching this exam. Shikamaru said with a grimace. Shiranui Genma held 1,000 books in his mouth and frowned slightly. Then, he looked up at the Hokage table. Hokage-sama, Uchiha Sasuke has not been found yet. On the side, guard Sarutobi Hiruzen reported in a low voice. Hokage-sama, it couldn't have been Orochimaru who kidnapped him. Under the cage mask, Orochimaru's face twitched when he heard this. He didn't take action, he still wanted to see Sasuke's performance against Gaara. As a result, he was somehow blamed. Hokage-sama, I have a suggestion, why not put Uchiha Sasuke's match to the last one? He should appear by then. Sarutobi Hiruzen heard this and nodded slightly. Well, that's right, let's do what Kazekage-sama suggested. Many important people from the Fire Country came here because of Uchiha's name. They must be satisfied, and it is just right to arrange Sasuke to play in the finale. Shiranui Genma received the news. Then, he spoke to Naruto and the others. Everyone, something happened during this exam, and Sound Nintos gave up. So, Anne's battle. The first match, Uzumaki Naruto vs Hyuga Neji. Game 2, by Nara Shikamaru's Tamari. Game 3, by Kenkirov's Aburame Shino. Game 4, by Uchiha Sasukev's Gaara. No one has any objection to this. Soon, with the enthusiastic cheers of the audience, the battle between Naruto and Neji began. Nanga Shrine. In a dark underground chamber. Sasuke sat with his legs crossed, his eyes sparkling. After a month of physical training, based on his understanding, his physical strength has improved a lot. Now is a good opportunity to break through the first palace. Sasuke condenses the chakra throughout the body, along the meridian network of the body, and gradually converges towards the abdomen. The Xingqian Dao Palace is located in the dantian of the human abdomen. Its main function is to gather the power of the stars in the 9 heavens to temper the physical body, thereby increasing the physical strength. At the same time, the Star Dao Palace is similar to the dantian and has the effect of storing the power of the stars. Since the source of its power is not the ninja itself, but the stars in the universe, even if it is consumed in a short period of time, the ninja's physical strength will not be exhausted. As long as the physical body is strong enough, it will not put any burden on the body. It can even burn the power of the stars, allowing Sasuke to explode with terrifying combat power in a very short time, allowing him to fight to his heart's content. But like 8 inner gates, what is burned and consumed is the ninja's own chakra. The later the number of doors opened, the greater the burden on the body and the greater the damage. This is a trick that overdraws the life potential. Compare the two and decide the difference. When the chakra in Sasuke's body condensed to a certain point, there was a faint starlight twinkling in his abdomen. It's like a Dao star was born out of thin air. Outside the ninja world, there is a star called Pojun in the universe. At this moment, an unprecedented brilliance erupted, and a large amount of starlight power continued to gather and surge downwards. I finally saw it. Sasuke's mental power seemed to see stars forming in the dantian of his abdomen. It was a ball of blazing white light. The moment it appeared, countless starlight powers, invisible to the naked eye, poured into Sasuke's body from the 9 heavens. Even with Sasuke as the center, a huge starlight Uzumaki was formed. The body, also trained by the power of the stars, quickly became stronger. What on earth is this guy Sasuke doing? At the Chunin examination venue, Kakashi frowned. Right now, the first duel has ended. Naruto used the power of 9 tails to successfully defeat Hyuga Neji. It caused a burst of cheers from everyone present. Really or not, that demon fox boy actually defeated the genius of the Hyuga clan. It's so strong. We are obviously 2 genin, but it makes me feel more dissatisfied than some Chunin. Haha, yes, it is indeed a joint selection. The competition is really exciting. I don't know how strong the only remaining genius in Uchiha is. The audience at the Chunin exam started talking a lot. Although Hyuga Neji was defeated, the strength displayed in this battle was amazing. Powerful moves such as Gentle Fist, 8 trigrams 64 palms, Revolving Heaven, etc., kept the audience entertained. They are looking forward to the next showdown. Soon, the second session of the Chunin exam began. By Nara Shikamaru's Tamari. Following Shiranui Genma's order, the two quickly started fighting. Shikamaru's hard power is obviously not as good as Tamari's. Various shurikens and kunai were thrown out, but Tamari either blocked them or slapped them away with an iron fan. It won't hurt her at all. Shikamaru was defeated steadily under the attack of Tamari's iron fan. There were wounds left on his body. Even the chakra and physical strength are consumed a lot. However, Shikamaru still persisted in attacking. The shadow imitation technique continues to move forward on the ground, which brings great experiences to Tamari. At the same time, Shikamaru's purpose of using the ninja tool was not to hurt her, but drive away. When Tamari kept retreating to avoid attacks. Finally, at a certain moment, using the sun and shadow, he was hit from behind by his shadow imitation technique. It's a pity that the chakra consumes too much time. When the shadow imitation technique is successful, Shikamaru Blue Star bottoms out. There is simply no way to control Tamari for a long time, and no way to make it admit defeat in a short time. As a last resort, I had to declare my abstention. Victor, Tamari, Shiranui Genma announced loudly. Hey, Shikamaru, you guy, you almost won, maybe you can't take action when you see a woman. Naruto shouted from the stands. Hey, Naruto is such a troublesome guy. Shikamaru squeezed his sore neck. No matter how detailed the battle plan is, it is impossible to win without enough chakra. It would be too troublesome to continue fighting. Although, he lost this battle. However, Shikamaru's strategy and wisdom displayed in the battle were still appreciated by Konoha's top brass. Although Shikamaru is a little weak in strength, his brains and control of the battle situation more than make up for it. His overall quality is enough for Chunin. Including Sarutobi Hiruzen, everyone secretly thought. Soon, Game 3, by Kenkirov's Aburame Shino. Hey, no, it's so fast. Kankuro was a little panicked. He didn't want to expose his puppet's mechanism yet. Didn't I just tell you to hold on longer? He turned to look at Tamari and said. HMPH, that boring man wants to give up, and there's nothing I can do about it. Tamari snorted coldly. Kankuro is helpless, indeed, the choice of battle is in his hands. He thought for a while and was about to give up. But suddenly, he felt a murderous aura. As soon as he turned his head, he met Gaara's murderous eyes. Kankuro, Uchiha Sasuke hasn't arrived yet, it's your turn. You will never let my fight be cancelled. Gaara said calmly with a cold voice. Of course not, Gaara, you misunderstood. Kankuro looked nervous and explained quickly with a smile, even sweat beads on his forehead. That's good. Gaara nodded slightly. There was no other way, Kankuro had no choice but to bite the bullet and jump into the fighting arena. Damn, it's really unlucky. It seems I have to find a way to last longer. Besides, it's best not to expose the mechanism of my puppet crow. Just as he was thinking this, Shino also jumped onto the field. As my opponent, you are so absent-minded. Aburame Shino said calmly, you don't have any conspiracy. Kankuro's smile almost froze when he heard this. This guy, his senses are so sharp. However, he still pretended to be calm on the surface. Conspiracy, don't take yourself too seriously. With Kankuro roaring, the battle is about to begin. Kankuro pulled the bandage on his back, and immediately, the machine puppet crow appeared. Kakaka, the puppet crow's joints rang, and it quickly attacked the milk. Puppetry, compared with my parasite, I don't know who is stronger. Shino said calmly. He waved his hand, and countless black insects poured out from his hand. Kaka, the puppet crow's hand loosened its mechanism, showed its sharp blade, and stabbed Shino fiercely. In an instant, the venom-covered blade pierced Shino's chest. Kankuro just smiled when he suddenly realized something was wrong. Sure enough, Shino quickly decomposed in the next second and turned into countless black insects. It's actually an insect clone. Kankuro was startled and turned around to find that Shino had touched behind him at some point. And punched him hard. Kankuro leaned over and quickly retreated to distance himself. At the same time, he waved the chakra thread in his hand and continued to control the puppet crow to kill Shino. Boo-hoo. The puppet crow shoots sharp kunai continuously from its mouth. But they were all easily dodged by Shino. So that's it, all the puppet mechanisms are poisonous. Shino lowered his head and found that after the kunai hit the ground quickly turned black. This guy doesn't seem to be that easy to deal with. Shino thought to himself. Humph, you just discovered it now. This battle will be over as long as you get injured. Kankuro sneered. You see, this is the power of the puppet master. Indeed, the weapons of the puppet master are different from those of ninjas, and they can be modified and quenched at will. The puppet master's enemies are very likely to die even if they are slightly injured in the battle. Yeah, Shino paused slightly, then quickly turned to him. HMPH, you want to fight me in close combat? Don't even think about it. Kankuro controlled the puppet crow to stand in front of him and quickly retreated. As we all know, Puppet Master is not good at melee combat. They usually hide in the dark and control their puppets to kill enemies. However, the open terrain of the Chunin examination venue is not conducive to the Kankuro battle. He could only force Shino away with the attack of the puppet crow. The sharp blade slashed at Shino, but he blocked it with the kunai in his hand. Kakaka. Suddenly, the sharp spikes from the mouth of the puppet crow stretched out, and its head suddenly flicked, stabbing straight towards Shino. Suffer death, Kankuro sneered, as if he saw Shino being killed by a poisonous sting. However, the crow's head suddenly stopped and fell to the ground. How is that possible? When did they? Kankuro raised his hand in surprise. He suddenly discovered that his hands were covered with black beetles, biting off the chakra thread that controlled his puppet. Shino took a few steps forward and gently tapped his finger on the puppet machine crow. Suddenly, a large number of black beetles slowly crawled over him. Don't underestimate these bugs. They rely on their keen sense of smell and tracking ability. Even if you escape my attack. Kankuro was shocked. What on earth is this guy? Suddenly, he remembered the scene when Shino touched him and attacked. It must have been that time that the bug was left on him. Now, it's time to decide the winner. Shino controlled the parasitic insects and stuck the opponent's puppet crow tightly in various joints. Kankuro glanced out of the corner of his eye, suddenly took a few steps back and spoke. I abstain from this game. Shino followed his gaze. Sasuke, dressed in white, appeared in the stands at some point. Winner, Aburame Shino, Shiranui Genma announced immediately. Gaara, now it's your turn. Kankuro put away the crow puppet and shouted towards the stage. My mission has been successfully completed. In fact, for a powerful puppet master, it is easy to quickly connect a broken chakra line to his puppet. However, he didn't have to fight hard. After all, this operation is not about passing the exam. HMPH, there will be something good to watch soon, Uchiha Sasuke. What a misfortune to meet this monster Gaara. Kankuro thought to himself. Hey, Sasuke, why are you here just now? You were almost disqualified. Naruto rushed over quickly. Naruto, you won the first game. Sasuke turned to look at him. Of course, next time I see you, how dare you raise your thick eyebrows like that, I'll give him a good beating. Naruto glanced at Gaara and snorted coldly. Okay, it's your turn, come on down. Shiranui Genma's voice came from the venue. Sasuke and Sasuke came to the center of the venue and looked at each other. Uchiha Sasuke's Gaara. This scene made everyone watching the battle full of expectations. Sasuke, is he the legendary genius Uchiha? Yes, I heard that the strength he showed during the graduation examination of ninja school was amazing. However, Gaara seems to be Sasuke's trump card. Can Sasuke be able to defeat him? Sasuke must kill him, he represents the face of our Konoha. Various sounds continued to come from the audience. Among them, many villagers in Konoha expect Sasuke to win. After all, this joint selection examination is also a secret competition between the shinobi villages, which is of great significance. Very good, let's start. Orochimaru's eyes showed excitement. With the strength of Sangaku Jinchuriki, I will definitely be able to push Sasuke to his limit this time. Hehe, when the time comes, you can only rely on my strength. Orochimaru licked his lips secretly. Uchiha's orphan, Itachi, I don't know if it's right for you to keep Sasuke. Sarutobi Hiruzen said silently in his heart. With the talent and strength that Sasuke has shown now, once Sasuke knows the truth about the night of genocide. Thinking of this, Sarutobi Hiruzen began to feel worried. Uchiha Sasuke, your blood must be delicious, I can't wait to kill you. Gaara's eyes widened and she felt like tea. Oh, can you do it? Sasuke looked calm and spoke contemptuously. Game start. Following Shiranui Genma's order, the battle between the two is about to break out. Gaara took the lead, and the sand in the gourd on his back quickly surged out and hit Sasuke like tentacles. Too slow. Sasuke turned over several times and got out of the way easily. After he opened the Star Dao Palace, he received the power of the stars to refine his body. Physical skills have improved a lot compared to before. Now, Sasuke's full burst speed is even better than that of Xiao Li. The speed of the sand controlled by Gaara was like slow motion in his eyes. However, with so many people staring at me, my trump card cannot be exposed yet. HMPH, to deal with Gaara, it's enough to show a little strength. The corners of Sasuke's mouth raised slightly. Defeating Gaara and seizing the power of One Tail is just a small goal of his. The object of revenge is Sasuke's real goal. Therefore, Sasuke cannot expose his true strength and arouse their vigilance. Sasuke took a few steps back and distanced himself. He shook his hand violently, and several shurikens were quickly fired at Gaara. But the sand in front of Gaara immediately formed a sand clone, trying to block the shuriken. However, the shuriken fired by Sasuke seemed to be alive. It turned dexterously and avoided the interception of the sand. At the same time, it passed the sand clone in a weird arc and shot Gaara instantly. However, Gaara has sand armor. The damage done to him by the shuriken was very slight. But Sasuke's shuriken skills still shocked him. How is it possible that you can avoid the interception of the sand clone? Kankuro and Temari were a little surprised. You know, Gaara claims to have absolute defense. Surprisingly, Sasuke was able to cross the sand shield so easily and hit the main body. HMPH, it seems that the defense of your sand armor is pretty good. Next, let's start warming up. The corners of Sasuke's mouth raised slightly, and the next second, his figure disappeared from the spot. He was like a phantom, instantly crossing a distance of tens of meters and flashing behind Gaara. With such a heavy punch, Gaara was knocked away before she could react. Spider web-like cracks quickly appeared in the solid sand armor on his body. Damn it, this guy actually has the same physical skills. Gaara got up, chakra surged, and the sand armor on his body healed quickly. In the stands, Kakashi, Might Guy and other ninjas were also shocked. It's so fast, just like Xiao Li, no, faster than him. Kakashi, when did Sasuke's taijutsu become so strong? Might Guy turned his head and said, "This, I'm not very clear about it. Didn't he learn physical skills from you?" Kakashi scratched his head and said, "In the past month, Sasuke has studied with Might Guy and Kurenai Yuhi respectively. He didn't know much about Sasuke's situation. After all, after spending the past few months together, Sasuke has learned almost all his ninjutsu." Kakashi was already speechless about Sasuke's talent in ninjutsu. "I didn't expect that the conjoined arts talent is also terrifyingly strong." Might Guy had a sneer on his face. "Sasuke, this guy wasn't that powerful in taijutsu before. What's going on? He became so strong in just a few days. However, using such a powerful physical technique will consume a lot of chakra and physical strength." Might Guy is a little worried about whether Sasuke can last until this point and defeat Gaara. Otherwise, Xiao Li is a lesson learned from the past. Rock Lee looked serious. "Sasuke, you are indeed a genius. In just 1 month, your physical skills surpassed mine. However, it is too difficult to defeat him with physical skills alone." In the center of the venue, Sasuke looked provocative and raised his finger at Gaara. "Hey, what's wrong, aren't you going to kill me?" Gaara had a gloomy look on his face. He didn't expect Sasuke's physical skills to be so strong. It was indeed very difficult. "Since you don't do it, then it's up to me." Before Sasuke finished speaking, a series of afterimages were left on the spot. The figure had already broken through the obstruction of the sand shield, and kicked Gaara away with a fierce kick. Immediately afterwards, he punched Gaara again and knocked Gaara to the ground. Bang bang bang. The speed of the sand is too slow to reach Sasuke. Gaara was hit one after another, as if he had become a punching bag. The sand armor on his body was also shattered inch by inch. Damn, it's too fast. Gaara's mouth was bleeding, and the more she beat, the more frightened she became. If it weren't for the armor of sand protecting him, he might have been knocked down by continuous heavy blows. Damn Uchiha, Gaara roared, and the surrounding sand became violent like a shark smelling blood. The sand closed up and quickly enveloped Gaara. HMPH, do you want to be a turtle? Sasuke sneered, "In that case I will smash your turtle shell." The muscles in his left arm swelled violently, and the force released was a little stronger. Boom! Sasuke's terrifying punch actually penetrated the thick sand wall. He beat Gaara until he vomited blood and flew backwards. A large amount of fine sand supported Gaara's body, slowing down the impact he received. Hoo-hoo! Gaara gasped and looked up at Sasuke. "Hey, Sandstorm Gaara, is this all you have?" Sasuke looked relaxed and walked forward slowly. "That's awesome, as expected of the Uchiha clan. That's right, I beat the ninjas of Hidden Sand Village to a pulp. Well done, let's end the battle like this. Uchiha Sasuke, come on and defeat him." Sasuke's performance caused everyone in Konoha to cheer. Might Guy's eyes were filled with confusion. What's going on? His movements are still so smooth and he consumes so little physical energy. When it comes to physical skills, Might Guy is an expert. But Sasuke's performance still confused him. 8 inner gates, when did the side effects become smaller? Sasuke, you are so handsome, kill this arrogant guy. Ino, Hinata, little Sakura and other Sasuke fans looked excited. What about the secret weapon of Hidden Sand Village? It was beaten until Sasuke screamed. Sasuke, this kid is really popular. Yuhi Hong pursed her lips and looked at the excited Ino and others with a faint taste. On the playing field, Gaara quickly formed seals. A large amount of sand came from all directions and instantly wrapped him into a ball. What if you show some secret skills? Sasuke watched this scene without moving. If he showed a little bit of physical skills, Gaara could hardly hold on. A pure crushing game is really boring. Just in time to have some fun. Moreover, Sasuke also hopes that Gaara will reveal his tailed beast form through this move. As a large amount of sand gathered, a sand ball as hard and smooth as a cocoon formed around Gaara. Here comes Gaara's absolute defense. Kankuro smiled. The scene just now really scared him. Facing Sasuke's taijutsu, Gaara was beaten to the point where she was unable to fight back. He almost thought Gaara was going to be knocked down. As a result, subsequent plans cannot be implemented, and the impact will be too great. But now that we have formed an absolute defense, we can feel at ease. Humph, is this the so-called absolute defense? How ridiculous. Sasuke's eyes turned scarlet and Sharingan appeared. At the same time, a large amount of thunder attribute chakra in his body quickly gathered on the palm of his hand. Go! Accompanied by numerous chirps, Sasuke seemed to turn into a bolt of thunder and lightning, moving straight past him at an astonishing speed. Spikes formed on the surface of the sand shield ball, and he wanted to fight back, but was easily seen through by Sharingan's insight. What's more, Sasuke's speed is so fast. With the cells in his body being stimulated and activated by lightning style, Sasuke's current speed is so fast that he can't even see the afterimage. Only a sharp bird call was heard. Sasuke's Chidori instantly penetrated the Sassen orb. In the darkness, Gaara looked over her shoulder blankly. Sasuke's blow directly penetrated his left shoulder, and warm blood flowed out. Blood? Is my blood? How is that possible? Gaara's eyes widened and Rizal went crazy. Ever since his mother turned into a shield of sand to protect him, he has never been injured. But now, the severe pain in her body made Gaara faintly start to run wild. Sasuke felt something strange and wanted to withdraw his left hand. But there seemed to be a monster in the maracas, tightly blocking his arm. He turned into a tailed beast. Sasuke didn't panic. Lightning-style chakra surged all over his body, and he transformed into a Chidori style and blasted in. Suddenly, Gaara's screams came from the maracas. How is it possible? Gaara's absolute defense. Kankuro in the stands held his hand on the railing with a look of shock. Temari on the side was also sweating. Gaara, who claims to have absolute defense, was easily injured by Sasuke. Under the Chidori Ryu attack, Sasuke quickly pulled out his hand. A huge khaki tentacle was pulled out from the hole penetrated by the dry bird. Immediately afterwards, the solid maracas began to collapse. As the quicksand slid away, the ferocious figure of Gaara below was revealed. At this moment, Gaara's body undergoes drastic changes. An earth-yellow tentacle occupies half of it, and even part of his head turns into a monster. Uchiha, Sasuke, you are my prey. As Gaara muttered, a huge tail slowly stretched out from his back. Is this just based on the state of your clothes? It's really ugly. Sasuke said slowly. What? That Gaara is actually a monster. It looks so scary. Is this still a ninja? It's over, even Uchiha can't defeat that kind of monster. Sasuke, it's better to admit defeat and run away. There was a heated discussion in the audience. Gaara's current appearance is really eye-catching. Kakashi and others also looked serious. Is this appearance the power of one-tail Shukaku? As expected, Gaara is also a Jinchuriki. Sasuke, how are you going to deal with it? Hidden Sand Village owns one-tail Shukaku, which may be a secret to the general public. But these elite Jonin have heard about it for a long time. The power of the tailed beast is enough to compete with cage-level experts. Kakashi couldn't help but start to worry. Wow, how disgusting. Sasuke actually wants to fight that kind of monster. Ino and Sakura frowned. Although this monster is scary, I believe Sasuke can definitely win. Hinata clasped her hands together and said in a firm voice. Suffer death, Uchiha Sasuke. Gaara roared and rushed towards Sasuke. At the same time, the huge field yellow tentacles exploded violently. Boom! A big hole was made in the solid land. But Sasuke's figure has long since disappeared. I see, in this state, both strength and speed are improved. However, you are still too slow. Star Dao Palace, open. Sasuke let out a low growl, and the blazing ball of light in his Dantian's abdomen began to spin violently. The power of the big star spreads all over the body instantly. Sasuke stepped on the ground hard, and a big pit appeared. Boom! A sonic boom sounded. The next second, Gaara's huge body was blown dozens of meters away by a punch. Hit the wall of the venue hard. Boom! The solid walls began to crumble. Suddenly, the entire venue fell silent. The next moment, there was a flood of discussion. How is it possible that with just one blow, that monster was shocked? This kind of strange power is too terrifying. Is this really the power that humans can achieve? It's incredible. Everyone was stunned when they saw the huge collapsed wall. Kakashi, Might Guy and others also opened their eyes wide. What a powerful taijutsu. How far has this guy Sasuke reached? Yuhi Hong opened her beautiful eyes wide and covered her red lips with her hands. Not only are illusions so powerful, but physical skills are also. Sasuke, how much are you going to bring me? This kind of talent is completely beyond the imagination of everyone in Konoha. On the other side, Kankuro and the others were a little panicked. Oops, Gaara won't be killed. You know, Gaara is an important part of the plan to attack Konoha. Transform into Shukaku directly at the Chunin venue and start a riot. It's enough to quickly damage the entire village and leave Konoha in a hurry. Then, we can launch the Konoha collapse plan. Now, Gaara is suppressed by Sasuke alone. Boom! The bricks and stones were thrown away, and Gaara climbed up from under the rubble in embarrassment. At this moment, his body returned to its original state. Damn, it's just a punch. I love how Luo gritted his teeth and Sasuke's punch brought him back to his original shape. Even the state of the body has collapsed. More importantly, he was seriously injured at this moment, and it was impossible for him to transform into Shukaku. In the stands, Baki, Kankuro and others also realized something was wrong. If this continues, Gaara will be killed directly. Watching the main stage, Sarutobi Hiruzen looked surprised. Good. As expected of Uchiha, well done. Sasuke's outburst allowed him to see its terrifying potential. Sarutobi Hiruzen decided that he must win over Sasuke so that he can work for Konoha. Sasuke, have you grown to this point? Orochimaru frowned, his eyes filled with shock. Before that, he had always been aloof and playful when facing Sasuke. He also thought that after leaving the curse seal, he would send the 4 sound ninjas to show their power. To bewitch Sasuke and let him slowly fall into his hands. But now, Sasuke's strength made him wary, and even gave him a faint sense of threat. No, we must act as soon as possible. After this plan, we can only take him away by force. In Orochimaru's mind, the figure of Itachi appeared. Sasuke's talent is far superior to Itachi. If he is allowed to develop, he may fly into the sky and be far away from him. Thinking of this, Orochimaru felt a sense of fear in his heart. Fortunately, in order to prevent accidents, we included him in this plan, and it was indeed correct. Orochimaru sneered. Now, it's time. Asterisk 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 asterisk. In the audience, the hidden ninja began to perform illusions. The originally noisy discussion quickly died down. A large number of viewers fell asleep due to the illusion one after another. What happened? Kakashi and others also noticed the abnormality. Illusion solved. All the ninjas in Konoha quickly unlocked the genjutsu. At this time, violent noises broke out in the Hokage stands. Covered by a large amount of white smoke, Orochimaru took action and quickly kidnapped Sarutobi Hiruzen. This sudden change shocked the ninjas present. The action begins. Upon seeing this, Baki and Kankuro immediately took action. Sasuke looked up. Has the plan begun? Sure enough, the next second, the 4 sound people appeared and immediately activated the barrier ninjutsu. Ninja technique, 4 purple sun formation. The huge purple cube instantly surrounded the Hokage stands. It also blocked Anbu, who came to the rescue. Cage, what do you want to do? Do you want to destroy the peace with Konoha? Sarutobi Hiruzen whispered. It's really ridiculous. Peace? No, there has never been so-called peace in the ninja world, it's just the wishful thinking of the weak. The new history of the ninja world will begin with me. Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart sank. Cage, do you want to start a war? Haha, Mr. Sarutobi, you are really slow. Are you too old? Suddenly, Orochimaru's cold voice sounded. You. Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes widened. The Orochimaru he had been waiting for was right in front of him. Orochimaru, you dare to impersonate the cage, how brave you are. Sarutobi Hiruzen said angrily. Scammed, not only him, but the entire Sand Hidden Village was deceived by Orochimaru. Impersonate the cage, falsely convey the cage's orders, and make the entire Sand Hidden Village and Konoha the enemy. This is going to push the two villages into despair. Sarutobi Hiruzen knows very well that sometimes, the cause of a war doesn't matter. Once a war breaks out, a brutal battle like a meat grinder will completely arouse the hatred of both sides. By then, maybe the entire ninja world will be in chaos, setting off a new war zone. Bold, haha, Mr. Sarutobi, you underestimate me too. Now, it's time to settle things with Konoha. Chunin exam venue. Baki, Kankuro and others jumped down and stood in front of Shiranui Genma and Sasuke. What do you want to do? Sasuke said with a deliberately confused look. Shukaku's collapse plan is temporarily suspended. You take Gaara away first and let him recover from his injuries. Baki ignored Sasuke and quickly ordered. Yes, master. Temari and Kankuro supported Gaara, glanced at Sasuke, and quickly jumped away. Sasuke, I'm sorry, it looks like the Chunin exam was messed up. However, with your strength, it is more than enough to become a Chunin. Now, the war has begun. Go after Gaara. Be sure to keep him. Shiranui Genma stared at the other person and said. The corner of Sasuke's mouth raised, and he disappeared in a flash. At this moment, outside Konoha village, 3 huge giant snakes were summoned and quickly moved towards the village. At the Chunin examination venue and other places, ninjas from Sangakur and Sound Ninja Village continued to appear. Things don't seem good. After Kakashi kills an enemy, he quickly goes upstairs and overlooks the Hokage stand. Suddenly, his pupils shrank sharply. The cage took off his cloak, revealing Orochimaru hidden underneath. What? This war is Orochimaru's conspiracy. Kakashi was surprised. However, the war has begun. The course of the war cannot be controlled by him alone. What's more, there are sound ninjas coming around now, and he doesn't have time to deliver the news. Kakashi, what a great opportunity. How about we compare which of us has killed more enemies in this battle? Might Guy remembers the powerful whirlwind and kicked away an incoming sound ninja at home. Kakashi sighed. On the roof of the Chunin exam venue. The battle between Orochimaru and Sarutobi Hiruzen is about to begin. Sarutobi-sensei, it's not okay for someone as old as you to be obsessed with power. I told you a long time ago that you should choose the 5th Hokage as soon as possible. Today, you will die here. Orochimaru laughed strangely. I don't need to worry about that, Orochimaru. Even though I'm old, I'm still a Hokage. Sarutobi Hiruzen opened the Hokage robe, revealing the tight-fitting combat uniform underneath. He waved his hand, and a shuriken flew towards Orochimaru, while forming seals with both hands. Shuriken Shadow Clone Technique. Suddenly, dense shurikens shot towards Orochimaru. However, Orochimaru had anticipated this and quickly formed the seal. Reanimation Jutsu. He slapped the ground with both hands, and 2 coffins immediately rose up and stood in front of him. HMPH, Teacher Sarutobi, I believe you haven't seen the previous generation Hokage for a long time. This is my gift to you. The coffin door opens, revealing the faces of the first generation and the second Hokage. In the forest outside Konoha village, Sasuke jumped through the woods, closely tracking the 3 Gaaras. Well, it's almost there. This distance should be enough. As long as Sasuke is willing, with his level of taijutsu, he can catch up with the 3 of them in no time. However, he has something more important. He formed a seal with his hands, and with a bang, Shadow Clone appeared. Then, he used the transformation technique, transformed into a Konoha shinobi and quickly dived back. Next, it's time for reckoning. Sasuke sneered, and then his speed surged and he quickly caught up. So fast, Uchiha Sasuke, he's here. Kankuro and Temari were shocked. Facing Sasuke's terrifying strength, they really didn't have the confidence to fight. The Shukaku in Gaara's body is the key to the success of this mission. We must ensure that he lives. Kankuro said, I'll stay and hold him back first, and you take Gaara away quickly. But, with Sasuke's strength, Temari couldn't bear it. Kankuro faced Sasuke and had no hope of winning. That's enough, Go quickly. Kankuro stopped talking nonsense, urged him, turned around and rushed in the direction where Sasuke came. Temari gritted his teeth and moved forward quickly. Chunin exam venue. Under the attack of several Jonin including Kakashi, Might Guy and Yuhi Kurenai. A large number of sound ninja died quickly. Kakashi freed his hands and immediately gave orders to Sakura and Naruto. Let them meet up with Sasuke and kill Gaara together. Naruto, this is a long-awaited high-level mission, an A-level mission. Naruto heard this and smiled on his face. Let's go, we can't let Sasuke steal the show alone. As Kakashi performed the summoning technique, Parker was summoned, and then, Naruto and others followed it and quickly left the examination venue. However, when they left, the sound ninja team hiding in the dark immediately followed. Uchiha Sasuke, this place is closed to traffic. Kankuro stood on a big tree and summoned the puppet machine crow to stand in front of Sasuke. Then, he immediately controlled the crow to spray poison and kill Sasuke. Yes, your courage is commendable. Sasuke smiled slightly and quickly formed a seal. Fire style, great fireball technique. A huge, blazing, destructive fireball spewed out. As the fireball moved forward, everything it passed, whether it was trees, poisonous smoke or puppets, was vaporized. The heat wave is rolling. In front of Sasuke, there was only a huge crater like lava. Sasuke looked at the huge crater that appeared in front of him. His mental power spread out and he frowned slightly. HMPH, I'll spare your life this time. Soon, Sasuke crossed the big pit and continued to chase forward. When Sasuke left, the ground on the side suddenly cracked open, and Kankuro crawled out in embarrassment. His clothes were in tatters and there were a lot of burn marks on his body. What a terrifying fire-style ninjutsu. How did this guy practice it? Kankuro endured the severe pain and muttered to himself. Just now, Sasuke fired fire style, which not only burned his puppet machine crow to ashes. Even himself, if he hadn't reacted quickly enough and used earth-style ninjutsu to burrow into the ground to save his life, he would have been burned to death long ago. Gaara, you must survive. Kankuro fell weakly in the woods nearby. In fact, with Sasuke's perception ability, he had already noticed that Kankuro was still alive. However, Sagakure and Konoha have a good relationship, plus this time he was deceived by Orochimaru. He didn't have any more last-ditch shots. Although, he is not fighting for Konoha. When Sasuke passed by a big tree, suddenly, deep in the woods, the puppet mechanism was activated. Densely packed shurikens shot at Sasuke from all directions. Humph, what a boring trick. Sasuke exerted his legs slightly, his speed surged, and he easily dodged all attacks. At his current speed, these shurikens pose no threat to him. Along the way, Sasuke triggered many traps. But with his strength, he easily dodged the attack. After several jumps, Sasuke saw the two Temari in front of him. This guy actually caught up with so quickly. Temari was shocked. Kankuro was instantly stunned by him. Although his mechanism can't hurt him, it can't even delay him for a little time. Temari, put me down. Gaara has a deep voice and possesses the power of a tailed beast. He recovers from injuries much faster than ordinary people. Although it has not completely healed, I can barely move. Gaara, your injury. Temari looked concerned. Get away. Gaara pushed her away roughly. Now, it's me and that guy's battle. The next second, Sasuke flashed in front of the two of them. Upon seeing this, Temari immediately rushed forward with an iron fan in hand. Unfortunately, I don't want to fight with women. Sasuke murmured to himself, and Sharingan appeared in his eyes. Suddenly, Temari felt a huge bright moon appear in front of her eyes. The whole person was spinning and slowly fell to the ground. Sharingan illusion. Crescent moon. Now, no one will disturb you. Gaara, won't you release the power in your body? Sasuke said staring at him. Uchiha Sasuke, you are my prey. Gaara's voice was hoarse and she covered her head in pain. His body changed rapidly, and his hands gradually transformed into huge yellow tentacles. At the same time, the head began to twist and turned into a monster, the pupils in the eyes became like copper coins, and the huge tail slowly stretched out, gradually turning into a complete body possession mode. However, the power of this tailed beast is not enough. While Sasuke was thinking silently, Gaara attacks. Sand shuriken. Countless sharp shurikens formed from sand continued to hit Sasuke from all directions. Bang bang bang. The big tree under Sasuke's feet was riddled with holes in an instant and collapsed. And Sasuke himself had already left with his speed. Damn it, Uchiha Sasuke, can you just run away? Gaara looked up to the sky and roared, and countless shurikens formed from fine sand continued to blast in all directions, destroying large trees. In the forest, the three Narutos were following Parker's footsteps and moving forward quickly. Hey, puppy, haven't you caught up after so long? Naruto asked impatiently. Pineapple-headed kid, my name is Parker, not some puppy. They are too fast, it probably won't take a while to catch up. Parker speaks the language. On the other side, Shikamaru frowned. Wait, Naruto, do you feel it? Shikamaru suddenly stopped. Well, there seems to be an enemy chasing us from behind. Little Sakura stopped, listened carefully, and said with some uncertainty. Listening to the noise, I'm afraid there are quite a lot of people pursuing us. Parker said leisurely. Shikamaru was a little helpless. You go ahead, I'll lure them away. But, Shikamaru, can you beat them? Naruto was a little worried. Once he was surrounded, his life might be at risk. Don't worry, I won't fight them head on. Even if I can't beat them, I will run away. Shikamaru said, pretending to be relaxed. Go quickly, I will catch up soon. Naruto glanced at him and followed Parker away. Oh, if you insist on showing off, things will be in trouble now. Shikamaru looked at their leaving figures and sighed. Next, at least buy them time. Shikamaru quickly began to disguise and arrange the scene. Soon, the Sound Ninja team arrived, and the leader took a closer look. HMPH, it's really a rough disguise. Come with me. They followed the traces and moved forward. Suddenly, several people were stunned. This is. They turned their heads with difficulty and saw Shikamaru with a smile on his face. Shadow imitation, success. Oh, so that's it, this is the secret of Konoha, shadow binding technique. The captain said slowly. It seems that you are a brat from the Nara clan. Haha, uncle, please stop using such ancient names. Shikamaru took out a shuriken from his ninja bag. Now, it's time for you to catch up with the trend. Shikamaru shook his hand suddenly, and the shuriken flew out, shooting directly at the heads of several people. But in the forest, shurikens also flew out, blocking the Zung's attack. Fortunately, I saved my life, otherwise, I would have fallen into your little devil's trap. The Sound Ninja captain sneered. Sure enough, it's not that simple. Shikamaru raised his head and looked up at the sky. The shadow imitation technique was originally intended to be an auxiliary one. He was alone, and even if he could immobilize the other party, it would not be easy to kill them. What's more, there are hidden companions in the dark. It seems that I'm not in good luck this time. Asuma, it's a pity that I can't play a few more games with you. Shikamaru said leisurely. If you want to play chess, you still have plenty of time. Suddenly, Asuma jumped out of the forest with a Zanblade in hand. He stretched out his hand, and the body of a Sound Ninja fell to the ground. Damn it, when did this guy actually follow me? The rest of the Sound Ninja looked frightened. Immobilized by the shadow binding technique, at this moment, they became lambs to be slaughtered. Buzz. The sword in Asuma's hand appeared as thin as a chakra wind blade. Then, he stepped forward and waved his hand fiercely. Several Sound Ninja died on the spot. Fortunately, you came here, otherwise I would have been afraid of disaster. Shikamaru breathed a sigh of relief. Well done, Shikamaru, keep up the mission. Asuma gave him a thumbs up. Hey, Shikamaru smiled. It's really surprising. I didn't expect to meet Konoha's famous guardian nin here. Suddenly, a voice came from the forest. I saw a young man with white hair, red eye shadow, 2 red dots between his eyebrows, and green pupils walking out. Who are you? Asuma raised the wind blade to his chest and asked warily. My Kimimaro, Orochimaru-sama's subordinate, is also a member of the Sound Ninja. What, are they their companions? Asuma and Asuma were a little surprised. They didn't expect the other party to reveal the details so easily. Shikamaru, leave now, Asuma urged. He could sense that the enemy in front of him was not simple. Shikamaru stays here and can't help at all. I know, Asuma, be careful. Shikamaru nodded and quickly rushed into the forest from the other side. Before leaving, he took a deep look at Asuma. Teacher Asuma, please don't let anything happen. Seeing Shikamaru leave, Asuma was slightly relieved. It's really surprising. I didn't expect you to let him leave the bottle so easily. Asuma lit a cigarette and said calmly. Sarutobi Asuma, the son of the third Hokage, one of the 12 guardian ninja of Konoha, that's right. It's not that easy to deal with you. Kimimaro said still expressionlessly. This guy, knowing my identity, still. Asuma was vaguely aware of the danger, and the chakra wind blade in his hand lit up instantly. With a thought in Kimimaro's mind, the earth curse seal on his chest quickly spread, black marks quickly covered his body, and he entered the curse seal state 1. At the same time, he reached for his shoulder and pulled out a sharp bone. What? Is this ability the limit of blood inheritance? Asuma's pupils shrank. The next step is the battle between the two of us. Kimimaro dodged and rushed towards Razma. Konoha village, a dark underground tower. Danzo was sitting in the main seat, and a root member was reporting quickly in front of him. Danzo-sama, this is the situation. The Sound Ninja and the Hidden Sand Village have joined forces to attack Konoha. There are girls like this in Konoha. Hokage-sama is trapped in the Chunin examination venue and is fighting Orochimaru. It's really interesting that this guy Orochimaru actually fought his way back to the Leaf Village. Danzo smiled. Orochimaru's move was a great help to him. Lord Danzo, do we want to take action? Yamanaka Fung knelt down on one knee and asked in a low voice. No, Konoha village is not that easy to defeat, we just need to hide underground. But soon, we will be able to bask in the sunshine. Remember, ask the root members not to take action, let them fight and both sides will lose. Danzo quickly ordered. Yes, Lord Danzo. Yamanaka Fang nodded and left quickly. The opportunity has come. Hiruzen, you didn't expect that Inshimaru would make a comeback. With his strength, can you escape unscathed this time? This time, the position of Hokage is mine. In the dark underground tower, Danzo touched the bandage on his arm, revealing a twisted and excited face. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe.